Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome inside beautiful Labatt Memorial Park and up to the Game Day London broadcast booth. My name is Dylan Baker. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening for tonight's contest between the Hamilton Cardinals and the London Majors. It's the second time the Hamilton Cardinals have come to town this season. They'll come to town for the final time later in July, and the Majors were victorious the last time in a 14-6 win on a Tuesday night. Daniel Gore turned in a great outing on the mound for the Majors after a rough first, and the Bats certainly came alive in that contest. The Cardinals looking to raise their stock in the Intercounty Baseball League a little bit, sitting in second last place right now, just ahead of the Brantford Red Sox, and the Majors trying to claw their way back into first place. It's almost time for the national anthems here at Labatt Park, so we will take a quick break and be right back here on Majors TV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic. Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, proud sponsor of your London Majors.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Beautiful rendition of the national anthems there as we get you set for action here at Labatt Park between the Hamilton Cardinals and the London Majors. Welcome back up to the Game Day London broadcast booth. My name is Dylan Baker. I'll be taking you through the evening of baseball today between the London Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals. The Cardinals, as mentioned, making their second trip to Labatt Park. It's the fourth matchup overall between the two teams. Majors victorious twice in Hamilton this season, and we'll look to continue that success against the Cardinals here today. We'll give you a look at the starting lineup now for the visiting Hamilton Cardinals in this contest. This is the lineup they'll be throwing against the Majors and Pedro de los Santos. David Ortiz leads things off. He's the shortstop, followed by Luis John. Justin Gideon bats third in center field, as per usual for these Hamilton Cardinals.
Where your food comes from?
Apologies,
like where it
we
really
seem to have some technical difficulties right now.
It comes from farmers.
We've got the commercial rolling on screen for you. And we're back. Tyler Duncan bats cleanup in right field. Josh Niles bats fifth at first base. Sam Petner bats sixth and left. Jeremy Veilleux is catching, batting seventh. Robin Fox-Pappas bats eighth. He's the designated hitter. And Tyler Giancos bats ninth. He is the second baseman in the ball game for these Hamilton Cardinals, whose offense is going to look to get going early here against the London Majors, who will be led to the mound by Pedro de los Santos. As we'll give you a look now at the pitching matchup in tonight's ball game between these two sides. For the Majors, they will throw Pedro de los Santos, who this season has had some pretty good success for the team, especially of late, after getting off to a slow start to his season. A little bit of struggles early on against the Kitchener Panthers in the home opener. De los Santos has been able to turn things around since then. The ERA has pretty steadily dropped. The strikeouts per nine sits at 7.8, and the walks per nine right around 4.5 for Pedro de los Santos. Get a look at it right there at 4.1. On the other side, Gabe Braun gets the start. It'll be his third outing against the Majors this season. He's been around the Intercounty Baseball League for a couple of years now. He features a .355 earned run average, a 7.8 strikeouts per nine, identical to that of Pedro de los Santos, and a 3.6 walks per nine. He'll be the man the Cardinals send out to try and silence this Majors offense in this contest. Lefty versus righty matchup. De los Santos, the lefty for the Majors, and Braun, the righty for the Cardinals. Majors are coming off a win last night to break the skid. They defeated the Kitchener Panthers by a score of 7-6 yesterday. And that felt good for a lot of guys on that London sideline after losing 3 in a row last weekend. On Friday to Toronto, on Saturday to Welland, on Saturday to Guelph, and on Sunday to Welland. The Majors were coming into Friday night a little bit frustrated, looking for the results that they have seen all year long, and they finally got them. For the Hamilton Cardinals on Thursday, that was their last game, and it was an eventful one at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener. Final score 21-12 Panthers in that contest. Prior to that, the Brantford Red Sox beat the Cardinals as well. They are coming in on a bit of a losing streak, having not won since Canada Day in Brantford. They'll be looking to snap that here tonight. David Ortiz steps into the batter's box for the Hamilton Cardinals. No, not Big Poppy. He's a shortstop for the Cardinals in this contest. To kick things off against Pedro de los Santos. De los Santos works as per usual with Robert Mullen behind the plate. Into the windup is the Majors left-hander. The first pitch of the ball game will miss for ball one. First pitch flies at 7:38 p.m. Just a few minutes, I should say, after scheduled start time of 7:35. De los Santos looks in for the sign. Into the windup he goes. Here's the 1-0 on its way. That's cut on and missed. A good pitch there from Pedro, who has evened things up in the count at a ball and a strike. De los Santos looks in for the sign. Into the windup. Here's the offering. Ortiz takes that one high for ball two. Pedro, third on the team in innings pitched at 33 1/3 so far this season. He comes to the plate with a 2-1 on its way. That's cut on and missed by Ortiz. So a couple of misses and a couple of swings and misses for Pedro de los Santos to this point. Pedro's last outing came here last Friday night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Struggled a little bit, allowed 10 runs. Only 4 of them earned, though, in that contest. Time called by Ortiz. De los Santos was in the windup. Pedro's working very quickly tonight, as he so often does. When he's in a rhythm, he's going to work very quickly out there on the mound, and Ortiz wasn't quite ready for it in the box. Here's the offering. That is cut on and missed. It's strike 3, and Pedro de los Santos has set down the first man swinging. Great sequence there by the Majors left-hander. Missed early on in the count. Fell behind 1-0, got a swing and miss. Fell behind 2-1, got a swing and miss. And then eventually gets strike 3 on that pitch just below the strike zone and off speed from De Los Santos that gets the K. And the first out at the top of the first inning as Luis Jean will step up to the plate. Jean this season has been one of the better bats for the Hamilton Cardinals. Batting in the 2-hole here today. That one will miss inside and low to the third baseman for the Cardinals. Jean batting .341 on the year in 13 games played. As a home run, 5 runs batted in. Here's the offering from De Los Santos. That's in there for a called strike 1. So after falling behind, once again, he gets right back in the count. A ball and a strike. De Los Santos shakes Mullen, now gets the sign he wants. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. A ball and 2 strikes. From left to right on the infield, the Majors have Gibson Kreminski, Keith Candell, and Jacob Newton at second base. Dan Perrier at first. In the outfield, Drew Lawrence is in left, Austin Wilkie's in center, and Starling Joseph is in right. Not much change on the Majors defense. Phil Whalen got the start in left yesterday. Drew Lawrence gets a start here tonight. Here's the offering from De Los Santos. Cut on and missed. Strike 3, so it's back-to-back strikeouts to open the ball game for Pedro De Los Santos and the London Majors. Another good job by Pedro in that at-bat. Fell behind early once again. Did not get the first pitch strike, but then got a called strike and 2 strike swing, I should say. And retired the second man in this Cardinals lineup as well. So Justin Gideon will step into the batter's box. Gideon, a great bat that's been around the Intercounty Baseball League for a long time. He's got an Ironman streak rolling as well. Gideon pops up the first pitch into foul territory. Mullen and Kreminski will give chase. Mullen towards the screen. That's out of play. It'll bounce down. Nobody could make the catch in the crowd. Came up near our Majors TV camera station down the line. Matthew Young, our camera operator, was hopefully on his toes. Out down the third base line there. So Gideon falls behind, 0-1. First batter in this ball game so far that De Los Santos had a first pitch strike on. De Los Santos shakes Mullen off once, now again. Has what he's looking for. Gideon will call time. Pedro taking a little bit too long for the liking of the center fielder to choose his pitch, so he will call time, step out, reset things. Into the windup goes Pedro. Here's the 0-1. That's going to miss for ball 1. A ball and a strike here. Gideon looks out. De Los Santos looks in. Here's the 1-1 offering. Gideon drives that baseball to right field. Back goes Starling Joseph to the warning track, to the wall. He leaps up. Did he catch it? It's gone. Great effort there from Starling Joseph in right field, and for a moment we thought he may have had that ball in his glove, but it's a home run for Justin Gideon to get the first run on the scoreboard for the Hamilton Cardinals. Gideon made great contact with that baseball, absolutely drove it to right. Joseph took a good route to the baseball, timed his jump well, just could not come up with the grab, and Gideon has yet another home run this season for the Cardinals, right up near the league lead in that category, and now he's taken the league lead, I should say. 10th home run of the year, surpasses Robert Mullen and Cleveland Brownlee in that category. Into the windup goes De Los Santos. Here's the 0-1. That's cut on and missed. It becomes a no ball and 2 strike count. De Los Santos struck out the first 2 batters of the inning, and then Gideon did the damage, driving it to right field to give Hamilton a 1-0 lead. Into the windup, De Los Santos. Here's the pitch. That's fouled off, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Crowd trying to encourage their left-handed starter. De Los Santos looks in for the sign from Robert Mullen. Into the windup he goes. Here's the 0-2 on its way. It's in the dirt, and Duncan will not chase. So the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. That was Justin Gideon's 27th run batted in of the year, which puts him in 5th place in the Intercounty Baseball League, a tie for 5th place with Andy Leader and Mateo Porcelato of the Kitchener Panthers and Welland Jackfish, respectively. De Los Santos looks in. He's got the sign he wants. Into the windup. The 1-2 on its way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So despite the home run, it's a productive inning for Pedro De Los Santos and the London Majors as he strikes out the side to set the tone here in the first against the Hamilton Cardinals. One poorly executed pitch to Gideon that allows the Cardinals to get on the board here in the first inning, but aside from that, a solid first for Pedro De Los Santos, and now he'll let the bats get to work. Let's get a look now at the starting lineup for the London Majors in this ball game, brought to you by Healthy Eats. Austin Wilkie will lead things off. He's followed by Jacob Newton. That 1-2 punch yesterday went back to back to start the bottom of the first inning after the Majors fell behind. In the top half, Wilkie went yard, then Newton went yard to give the Majors a 2-1 lead. We'll see if some of that same magic is in store in this one. Cleveland Brownlee bats third. He's the designated hitter. Robert Mullen batting cleanup at catcher. Starling Joseph batting fifth and right. Gibson Kraminski bats sixth. He's the third baseman. That is the same top six we saw yesterday, the same top six we've been seeing for a while for this Majors squad. A little bit of a change as Dan Perrier bumps up to that 7th spot. He's playing first base, I should say. Drew Lawrence bats 8th. He's in left field. And Keith Candell bats 9th. He's at shortstop for the London Majors in this ball game. And as mentioned in the pregame show, they will face Gabe Braun, an arm that they've seen many times in the past. He worked in that game here at Labatt Park. He's seen the Majors twice this season, and will try to shut down a very good offense here in this contest. Majors scored 7 runs yesterday. They've had double digits numerous times this season, so it won't be an easy task at hand for Braun and the Cardinals. On a rare Saturday night game for the London Majors, we appreciate that you've joined us here on this Saturday evening to catch some IBL action. Not very often we get the chance to bring it to you on this day of the week. So thank you for tuning in, and Austin Wilkie will dig into the batter's box for the Majors to lead things off in the bottom of the first inning. Braun threw 4 innings for the Cardinals in a 13-2 defeat at the hands of the Majors on June 26th. Through an inning, allowed 2 runs against the Majors on June 21st here at Labatt Park, and threw in the June 5th game as well. So he's worked 3 times against the Majors this year. June 5th, he threw a scoreless inning of work against the Majors. Austin Wilkie will dig into the batter's box for London to get things going. Braun goes into the windup. Here's the first offering. That's going to miss inside for ball 1 to the Majors center fielder. Not quite the crowd we're used to seeing here at Labatt Park. That's probably due to Rock the Park going on at Harris Park, not too far away, and it being a Saturday night. Fans aren't used to coming down to the Forks of the Thames for a ball game on a Saturday night, as Wilkie gets jammed in on the hands and fouls it off. Wilkie digs in, looks out. Braun looking in for the sign. Takes a breath. Here's the 1-1 on the way. Wilkie takes a breaking ball. It's called a strike, and the count moves to 1-2. As mentioned, Wilkie went deep to lead off the ball game yesterday. Really set the tone in that contest. It was followed by a home run by Jacob Newton to dead center field. That was Newton's second of the year. Wilkie's third. Into the windup, Braun. Here's the 1-2. Wilkie swings through that breaking ball for strike 3. So the bottom of the first opens the same way the top half did. It's with a strikeout as Wilkie goes down on 4 pitches. And that'll bring up Jacob Newton. After the 3-loss weekend last weekend, Jacob Newton changed his appearance a little bit, shaved down the sideburns, which were quite prevalent on his face last weekend. And for a couple games prior to that, it was an interesting look for the Majors second baseman. He's since trimmed them, and has gone back to regular length. Hit a home run like that yesterday, so you've got to imagine that look will stay at least for the next little while. Here's the first offering to Jacob Newton. That's going to miss high for ball one. Majors beat the Panthers last night. They play the Cardinals here in this one. And then tomorrow, they're on the road at Christie Pitts in Toronto for a contest. And home plate umpire digging at the dirt a little bit, trying to eliminate that catcher's box that was poorly drawn onto the home plate circle. Here's the 1-0 on its way to Newton. He lines that one into left field, sinking quickly and coming on the left fielder to make the grab for the second out. Sam Petner on the run there was able to come down with that baseball. And that'll bring up Cleveland Brownlee for his first trip to the plate. So as the big bat of Brownlee saunters into the box, he'll be looking to change his fortunes of late. Brownlee, who got off to a stellar start to the year, has been scuffling a little bit in the past few games, average down to .368, which is still a tremendously good spot. Brownlee walked twice last night against the Kitchener Panthers. Went 0 for 2, I believe, overall. He looks out at Gabe Braun, who's got the sign he wants from his catcher, Jeremy Veilleux, and goes into the windup. Here's the pitch. That one's going to miss low for ball one. A little Let's Go Majors chant here early on in the ball game as the fans try to get into it and get their team on the scoreboard. Jacob Newton nearly had the Majors' first hit of the ball game, but it was caught in left nicely by Petner as that one will bounce into the plate. Brownlee not tempted, and he's ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes here against Braun. Robert Mullen waits on deck. It is Pride Night at Labatt Park. See a few fans wearing some rainbow gear. Brownlee swings through that one. And the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Majors have their big DH, Cleveland Brownlee, at the plate. Trailing by 1 already after the Justin Gideon first inning homer. Here's the offering on its way to Brownlee. He drives that one to left field and deep. Back goes that baseball to the warning track, to the wall. Goodbye, home run. Cleveland Brownlee has evened things up. He goes yard to left field, and we've got ourselves a 1-1 ball game. A pitch that was a little inside on Brownlee. He was able to turn on it and drive it off the light post in left. That'll be Brownlee's 10th home run of the year, tying him right back up with Justin Gideon for the league lead. And he gets to walk back to the dugout with high fives, fist bumps, and a cheering crowd behind the bench. So the Majors have evened up this ball game, and after the Brownlee home run, Robert Mullen steps to the plate. Mullen, a guy who can absolutely do the same thing and take a ball yard if he gets the right pitch. He'll try to find it here against Gabe Braun. Mullen is able to drive the ball out of the ballpark to all fields. He can pull a home run. He can drive it to right center if the pitch is on the outside part of the plate. Just such a talented hitter. We'll see what he can do here with 2 out in the bottom of the first. Into the windup goes Braun. Here's the offering. That's a breaking ball. It's going to come in, and it's going to clip Robert Mullen. So he is hit by a pitch. Mullen in second place on the team overall and hit by pitches. Only Cleveland Brownlee has been hit more often than the Majors catcher. Brownlee hit 7 times this year. Mullen now hit for the 5th time. And Starling Joseph will get a chance in the first inning with the runner at first base. Joseph in yesterday's contest for the Majors went 2 for 4, had a single, a double, 2 runs scored in the victory over the Kitchener Panthers, as Gabe Braun will work from the stretch for the first time in the ball game. He comes set out there on the mound. Peeks back at Mullen. Now the offering on its way off the outside corner for ball 1. Joseph looks out, Braun looks in. He gets set out there on the mound. Here's the 1-0 offering. Joseph gets it in on the hands. It's popped up on the infield. Niles coming in from first base, and near the mound, he makes the grab. So after one complete inning here at Labatt Park, we are evened up at 1, courtesy of home runs from Justin Gideon and Cleveland Brownlee. We'll be right back here on Majors TV.
Farmers and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty
Listen, I'm the brains here.
and Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. Second inning about to get underway here from the Forks of the Thames. Majors and Cardinals tied up at 1 apiece. The top and bottom half of the first inning both started with a strikeout. And the three-hitter for both sides went yard as Justin Gideon hit his 10th home run of the season in the top half, and Cleveland Brownlee hit his 10th home run of the season in the bottom half. Both guys tied for the league lead in long balls this season, and both guys the reason that we're tied at 1 here in this ball game. Pedro de los Santos back out to the mound for his second inning of work. He will look to silence the Cardinals' bats in this frame. He pitched very well in the first, struck out the side. However, the home run was the only blemish on that inning for De Los Santos. He'll have to deal with Josh Niles, Sam Petner, and Jeremy Veilleux. Pardon me, Sean Petner. Niles, a hometown kid from the London area. Always a good time playing at Labatt Park in front of some friends and family. De Los Santos into the windup. Here's the pitch to Niles. That's going to miss up and in. In the Cardinals' first trip to Labatt Park this season, Niles went absolutely yard in his first trip to the plate. Likely onto the bridge near the river, maybe even in the river for Josh Niles, who's got plenty of pop for Hamilton. As that one finds the strike zone, it moves to a ball and a strike. De Los Santos shakes Mullen a couple of times, now gets the sign he wants. Into the windup he goes. Here's the pitch on the ground towards shortstop. Candell waits for it, fires a strike over to first. Perrier with the grab, and it's in time for the first out of the top of the second inning. Good play over at short by Candell, firing it over to Perrier to get the first out of the second frame, and Sean Petner will step into the batter's box for Hamilton. Petner in left field had to make a tough catch, battling the sun a little bit on a line drive by Jacob Newton in the bottom of the first inning. That was the second out of the bottom of the first before Cleveland Brownlee went yard. Here's the pitch from De Los Santos on the way. That's fouled off towards the parking lot. And that's the moment when you see fans and Majors staff grimace a little bit, hoping they parked far enough to avoid that foul ball. Here's the 0-1 on its way. That's going to miss low, and the count moves to a ball and a strike. Pedro not going to overpower you, pardon me, with the fastball. He's going to work with his stuff and try to finesse outs out of you. Here's the 1-1 on its way. Breaking ball drops in there. Beautiful pitch from De Los Santos for a called strike 2. De Los Santos looks in. Shakes once into the windup, he goes. Here's the 1-2 on its way, on the ground towards third. Weakly hit, Kraminski comes in, has to hurry, throw to first. In time, they say Perrier got the tag. A great play by the Majors first baseman. And that'll be the second out of the top of the second inning. Sean Petner didn't hit that baseball overly hard towards third base. Gibson Kraminski had to come in, throw on the run, and recorded the out. The second one of the second inning. And Jeremy Veilleux will step up to the plate. Veilleux catching in the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals. Spent last season in Hamilton as well. He's one of 3 listed catchers on this Cardinals lineup. Cardinals roster. First pitch from De Los Santos to Veilleux will miss inside. De Los Santos into the windup. Here's the 1-0 on its way. Cut on and missed. A ball and a strike with 2 out here in the top of the second inning. Looking to set the Cardinals down 1-2-3. Here's the offering from Pedro. In there, called strike 2. De Los Santos ahead of the Oakville, Ontario native. A ball and 2 strikes. Going to look to try and put him away here. The 1-2 on its way from De Los Santos. On the ground towards third. That one will get foul. Kraminski took a couple of steps. Saw it was foul and let it go towards the dugout. So we'll do it again on a ball and 2 strikes. De Los Santos looks in, gets the sign he wants from Mullen. Nods several times. Here's the 1-2. Cut on and missed, strike 3. Mullen will have to throw down to first to complete the putout. He's got it. It's another strikeout for Pedro De Los Santos. That's his 4th of the ball game, and the Cardinals are set down 1-2-3 in the top of the second. Great job by Pedro De Los Santos in that frame. Retiring the Cardinals 1-2-3, a couple of ground balls. A good job by Keith Candell, making a good play on the first one. And then Dan Perrier and Gibson Kraminski combined for a good play to get the second out of that second inning. It was a ground ball that was weakly hit towards third base. Kraminski charged it hard, fired over to first, and Perrier had to come off the bag a little bit, but was able to apply the tag on the runner going down, Sean Petner. And, of course, De Los Santos strikes out Jeremy Veilleux for the final out of the second inning. And Gabe Braun will get back to work to recap Braun's first inning of action. He struck out Austin Wilkie pretty quickly on just 4 pitches. Then Jacob Newton lined out. He was through the first 2 batters on just 6 throws. Then Cleveland Brownlee took him deep to tie the ball game up. Robert Mullen got hit on the very next pitch. And Starling Joseph popped out to end the frame to the first baseman, Josh Niles. Despite the home run, not a terrible inning for Gabe Braun. So he will look to build off the strikeout and the quick outs that he got in the second for Hamilton. Braun, a flexible guy for the Cardinals, not always a starter. He can pitch out of the bullpen as well when you need him to. He's got a brother on the team, Ben. Ben, a lefty for the Cardinals. Also pitched in Burlington in his career. Gabe Braun in his second Intercounty Baseball League season. 6 games this year, only 1 start. Through 5 innings in his last outing, 5 innings allowing 3 runs in the Cardinals' loss to the Brantford Red Sox. Braun did not get a decision in that game, has not had a decision since last season. In all 6 games this year, he's received no decisions. No wins, no losses. Going to look to come out on the winning side here in this one at Labatt Park. He'll have to deal with Gibson Kraminski, Dan Perrier, and Drew Lawrence for the London Majors as they look to start some offense here in inning number 2. Ball game is all tied up at 1 after the home run from Cleveland Brownlee. Kraminski, a switch hitter for the Majors, will bat left-handed against the righty Braun. Despite the fact that Kraminski is a switch hitter, it's not a fact that's often spoken about with him. When he joined the team, it took several people a couple of weeks to realize that he was a switch hitter just because he faced so many righties and was only batting left-handed. Here's the offering. Kraminski squares around to bunt, pulls back. That one misses for ball one. They'll get a new ball for Braun. Home plate umpire will keep it. And Kraminski's behind in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Gabe Braun wants to talk to his catcher, Jeremy Veilleux, so he will go out to the mound. See if they can figure out what they want to come with here on the 1-0 offering to Kraminski. Could be that they're talking about the bunt play as well, in case Kraminski decides to lay one down, decides to square around again. Kraminski looks out. Braun looks in. Takes a breath out there on the mound. Into the windup he goes. Here's the 1-0 on its way. That's way outside. So 2 balls and no strikes now on Kraminski. After missing near the zone with the first one, that one wasn't really close from Braun. Here's the pitch on its way, the 2-0. That's in there for a called strike 1. He finds the zone once again. And the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Braun takes a breath out there on the mound. Into the windup he goes. Here's the 2-1 on its way. That's in there for a called strike 2. So Kraminski has taken all 4 pitches he's seen so far in this plate appearance. 2 of them have been balls, the first 2, and 2 of them have been strikes, the next 2. Here's the 2-2 on its way to the Majors' third baseman. Kraminski fouls that one off. Hit his foot on the way towards first base, so he'll take a second to reset, shake that foul ball off, and get ready in the batter's box once more. Talks to the home plate umpire and the catcher. Likely about the foul ball and how he's feeling. Braun looking in. Into the windup. The 2-2 on its way to Kraminski. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Gibson Kraminski goes down on strikes for the first out of the bottom of the second inning. A good job by Gabe Braun. Worked that plate appearance, worked that at bat, I should say, well to Kraminski. After falling behind 2 balls and no strikes, came back in the strike zone a couple of times and then got him to foul off a tough pitch and chase another for the first out. And Dan Perrier will step into the batter's box. Perrier coming up to the plate for his first trip of the ball game. On the year, Dan Perrier for the Majors, batting right near .375. Here's the first offering to the Majors' first baseman. That will miss in. Perrier looks out. Braun looks in. Here's the 1-0 offering. Perrier in the air, right center field. After it, Gideon. So is the right fielder. It'll be Duncan coming on to make the grab for the second out. Looked like Justin Gideon had a beat on that baseball, but Duncan came out of nowhere to make the catch. Gives a little high five to Gideon. They're on the same page. Everything's sorted. Gideon, was charging hard, and at times that can be a dangerous play just because you don't know who's going to be taking it. Both guys are running at 110% trying to make that catch. Luckily, Duncan made the grab and averted danger as Drew Lawrence will step up to the plate for the Majors. Lawrence came in as a pinch hitter yesterday for Phil Whalen. Had another trip to the plate after that. Went 0 for 2 in the ball game yesterday. Here's the pitch to Lawrence. Takes a curveball in there for a called strike 1 on the outside corner. Lawrence thought it was a little bit outside, but doesn't get the call he was looking for. Here's the 0-1 on its way. Inside, a ball and a strike. Lawrence has been hitless in his last 3 games, though he did not have a plate appearance against the Welland Jackfish on July 10th. Came in as a pinch runner, scored a run, played a little bit of defense, did his job. Here's the 1-1. Lawrence squares around to bunt, and did he go? Pardon me, they called him on the swing. Home plate umpire called him on the swing, didn't pull the bunt back. So it'll be strike 2. In his last full game, the last game he started against the Brantford Red Sox on July 6th, Lawrence went 2 for 4. Scored 2 runs, struck out once. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the Majors left fielder. Here's the offering from Braun. That's in the dirt well outside. Good job by Lawrence to take that pitch. And the count moves to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in inning number 2. 2 runs combined on the board. 2 hits combined on the board. Here's the offering. Lawrence on the ground towards shortstop, taking a step back is Ortiz. He throws to first in time to get the speedy outfielder for the Majors and to retire the side here in the bottom of the second inning. So after both teams get a run in the first, neither team does here in the second. It's 1-1 after 2 from Labatt Park.
We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickert Promotions Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning. Currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Third inning about to get underway here from Labatt Park between the Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals. My name's Dylan Baker, taking you through the ball game here tonight. My broadcast partner Noah Smith now with me here for this contest. Last time Noah wasn't here, Reese Dumani joined me on the call on July 3rd against the Brantford Red Sox. Riding solo here tonight. Appreciate you joining us for a rare Saturday night ball game at home for the Majors, though they are pretty consistent in the Intercounty Baseball League. At Labatt Park, that's not the case. Majors are here every Friday, the occasional Sunday mixed in, maybe a Monday if there's a holiday, but very rarely they play a Saturday home game, a Saturday night at that. It'll be the bottom of the order for the Hamilton Cardinals. Robin Fox-Pappas will lead things off. Tyler Giancos will follow him, and David Ortiz at the top of the order will be the third hitter due up in this third inning as Pedro de los Santos looks in for the sign. He's got the one he wants into the windup. Here's the offering. That's going to miss inside. Here's the 1-0. On the ground towards second base. Going to be a tough play for Newton. Fields it on the short hop. Flips to Perrier. Great job by the Majors' second baseman to record the first out of the third inning. Newton had the option to try to charge that baseball to get it on the big hop or wait back for the big hop, and got the short hop as he charged in. Was not quick enough to get there for the big one, and luckily was able to field that very, very well on that pick and flip it to Perrier at first for the first out. It'll be the bottom of the order now. Number 9 hitter Tyler Giancos, who steps into the batter's box for the Hamilton Cardinals. The first pitch from De Los Santos is in there for a called strike one. Giancos is playing second base in this contest. Cardinals wearing their beautiful powder blue jerseys. Here's the pitch. That's going to hit the outside corner for strike two, so Giancos behind very quickly. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 on its way. That's going to miss. Mullen, though, says De Los Santos, that's a good pitch. That's exactly where I want it. Just didn't get the chase that he was looking for there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. De Los Santos into the windup. Here's the offering on its way after a slight hesitation. The pitch is belted to left field. Moving back on it, Lawrence. Just a step, and he'll make the grab. A routine play for Drew Lawrence. And that'll be the second out of the top of the 3rd inning. So 2 quick outs for De Los Santos, who's been efficient up to this point for the Majors. Through 2 2/3. He's thrown 34 pitches. As the top of the order will come for the second time, and David Ortiz will get his second at-bat of the ball game. Ortiz struck out in his first trip. Ortiz yucking it up with Robert Mullen. Into the windup. Here's the pitch from De Los Santos. That'll miss low for ball 1. 4 strikeouts to this point of the ball game for De Los Santos, 3 of which came in the first. Here's the offering. That's going to miss outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The lefty looks in. Into the windup. Here's the pitch. That's cut on and missed by Ortiz for strike 1. De Los Santos fell behind the Hamilton shortstop in his first trip to the plate, but worked his way back to get the strikeout. We'll see if he can put him, or try to get another strike back, I should say, here on 2-1. The offering from De Los Santos, that's well inside. Clipped the umpire's foot, I believe, or leg, but with that protection that he's got down there, he's all right. One of the Majors bat boys will go retrieve that baseball. Count moves to 3-1 now. Here's the pitch from Pedro in there. Called strike 2, and so it moves to a full count. Full count, 2 out in the top of the 3rd inning. Pedro De Los Santos looking to get through his second clean inning of work. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, called strike 3, and De Los Santos sets Ortiz down on strikes for the second time in the ballgame. So once again, the Cardinals go 1-2-3. It's another great inning for Pedro De Los Santos, and the Majors will have a chance to get back on the bats here in a 1-1 contest. De Los Santos has been on top of his game. Only 1 hit allowed. That was the home run. Same can be said for Gabe Braun for the Hamilton Cardinals. We'll take this opportunity to remind you to follow the Majors on social media. At London Majors on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and right here on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us. We remind you to subscribe if you haven't already to the Majors YouTube channel. You won't regret it. We're up a ton of subscribers recently, and we appreciate every single one of you. We've had some new viewers join us from the United States in the past few games, discovering the Intercounty Baseball League for the first time. We're happy that you're enjoying the broadcasts here from Labatt Park. We certainly enjoy bringing them to you every Friday, and in this case, Saturday night here at the Forks of the Thames. Dylan Baker, accompanied on production by Jeremy McGrady, Cal Johnstone, and Matthew Young working the camera this evening for our production crew. It's a beautiful night for baseball at Labatt Park. A little warm when the sun was out, but now that the shade has begun to cover up the field, I can imagine it's ambient conditions down at field level for both sides. The Majors will have Keith Candell, and the top of the order due up after him, Candell, Wilkie, Newton, scheduled to hit in this frame for the Majors. One of the more exciting times now at the ballpark as the kids rush to the third base ramp to get ready to run the bases after this half inning. Now, they have limited the base running to just the first 50 kids. They got to stamp you. They got to make sure you're under 12, which means if I go down there, try to sneak in, they won't let me in, unfortunately. Maybe if I asked nicely enough, they'd let me run the bases. It's a goal of mine to head down from the broadcast booth one day, run the bags, and sprint right back up here to call the game. Keith Candell will step into the batter's box here for the first time in the ballgame, the only Major yet to hit in this contest. Here's the first offering from Gabe Braun. That's going to just miss. Looked like a little bit low, as it might have found the corner, but below the knees to Candell. It's a ball and no strikes. Braun a breath out there on the mound. Here's the 1-0 on its way. That's going to miss high. 2 balls and no strikes now. Keith has displayed some added pop in his bat this season. Not necessarily a guy who's known for his power all that much, but has put it on display so far this year. That pitch will miss low, and the count moves to 3-0 on the Majors shortstop. 3 home runs in the year for Keith Candell, 18 runs batted in. When he gets on base, he uses his speed to get around the base paths, has 23 runs scored this year. Only trails Sterling Joseph, Cleveland Brownlee, Robert Mullen in that category. Here's the 3-0. And that one's right there to Candell for a called strike one. Looked like Keith was taken all the way in the 3-0 count. Was looking to get on base at the top of the order on deck. Here's the windup from Braun. The pitch. Candell in the air. Foul territory. Racing after it. Niles towards the warning track. Reaches out. He can't come up with it. Great effort there by Josh Niles, but that one will find the warning track in foul territory. So Candell gets a second life for the Majors, as he will look to put one in play here and hopefully get on base. With the top of the order due up right after him, can serve as that second leadoff man if he's able to get aboard here. Braun allows Niles a second to get back to his position, catches breath over at first base, before he delivers the full count offering to Keith Candell. Here's the 3-2 right in there. It's a called strike 3. It's a beautiful breaking ball from Gabe Braun that finds the strike zone and gets him the first out of the bottom of the 3rd inning. I'll take a guess and say Keith Candell wasn't sitting breaking ball on 3-2. Got fooled by that pitch and just dropped right in there. Well executed offering from Braun there. Austin Wilkie will step up for the second time. He was Braun's first strikeout victim of the contest. Led off and got punched out by the Hamilton right-hander, so he'll be looking to fare a little bit better here in his second trip. Here's the first pitch to Wilkie. That's going to miss high for ball 1. Braun fell behind Candell 3-0 before eventually retiring him on strikes. Has fallen behind Wilkie here 1-0. Among the 33 pitches Braun has thrown, 54% of them have been strikes. Wilkie on the ground, tough play. It's going to get through. It's a base hit for Austin Wilkie. Not an overly hard hit ball by the Majors center fielder, but just found the perfect spot between the third baseman and shortstop. Luis Jean tried to dive across and make that play, but was unable to do so despite his best effort. So Wilkie stands over at first base for Jacob Newton. Newton hit the ball hard last time he came to the dish, but right into the glove of Sean Petner in left field. I'm sure he wouldn't mind the same contact, just gonna hope to place it in a different spot this time around. Wilkie stands over at first base. See on your screen there, not an overly big lead. He gets a little bit bigger now towards the cut of the grass. They'll throw over. Wilkie back with a dive. Wilkie leaning a little bit on that throw, possibly on the move, though, as mentioned, the lead wasn't overly aggressive, not too big. Casey David Pullum, third base coach, gives the signs. Wilkie over at first, Newton at the dish. Here's the offering. Wilkie not running. Newton drives that baseball to right center field, and Gideon takes a couple of steps to his left, makes the grab. Another hard hit ball right into the glove of a Cardinals outfielder, and that'll be the second out of this 3rd inning.
Number 35, Cleveland Brownlee.
Cleveland Brownlee will step up to the plate now for the London Majors. Went deep in his last trip. A line drive that got out of here in a hurry to left field. Hit the light post just over the Dr. Alex Colson sign in left field. Brownlee's got a runner at first this time around. Nobody on base. Solo shot for Brownlee in the 1st inning. First Majors hit of the ball game as well by Cleveland Brownlee. Quick throw over. Wilkie back with a dive once again. Wilkie stands at first. Braun comes set out there on the mound. Here's the pitch on its way, breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Veilleux behind the dish to keep Wilkie at first. Brownlee doesn't chase that one, and the count is a ball, no strikes. Braun tried to work around, work low, work high to Cleveland Brownlee in his last trip, and then eventually came in a spot that Brownlee could hit it. And Cleveland did not miss. Another throw over. Wilkie back with a dive once again at first base. Braun certainly thinking about the major center fielder who stands over at first. Here's the pitch. Wilkie on the move this time. That one is low and away. It's going to squirt away from Veilleux. Wilkie will round second hard, but the ball's not far enough for him to move any further. We'll see the scoring on that. You have to imagine it's going to be scored a stolen base for Austin Wilkie. Once we get the official ruling from Dave Woody, the official score here at Labatt Park, we'll let you know. It has been ruled a stolen base for Wilkie. Ball squirted away from Veilleux, but Wilkie was moving on the pitch, had a great jump, was likely going to be there no matter what. 2 balls, no strikes. Good hitters count for Cleveland Brownlee. Here's the pitch, lines that one straight back to the screen. Right on that pitch was Brownlee, but fouled it off. Home plate umpire will call time. Somebody needs to go get that ball. And the umpire will wander over to grab it himself. 2-1, 2 out. Braun takes a peek back at Wilkie. Here's the offering. Outside corner, he's got it. Cleveland doesn't like the call. It'll be strike 2 to the Majors DH. Runner in scoring position here, 2 out. Big pitch coming up for Gabe Braun. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brownlee. Here's the offering on its way. Drops in there. It's a called strike 3 for Braun. Brownlee not happy with that call as he talks it over with the home plate umpire, but it's strike 3 nonetheless as the plate ump will hear the boos from the crowd here at Labatt Park. 1-1 after 3. You're watching Majors Baseball on MajorsTV.
Like where it really comes from, it comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty
Listen, I'm the brains here.
and Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Here we go. We got one person coming right around the end there. Umpire, can we get a call on this one? Coming right down. High fives galore and thank you for the safe call there. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. That was my one here. Oh, really? Oh, that's great. I do want to say, I know it's difficult for us as well to turn people away. We're trying to cap it at 50. As you can see, it's a little bit dangerous at times. So we are trying to cap it at 50 people. The reason for that, like I said, safety. But don't worry, at the end of the game, if you're hoping, if you can stick out to the end of the game, Then at the end of the game, we'll open up the gates. Kids can run around, meet the players and everything like that as well. So appreciate you guys understanding as we had to turn some people away from this particular running of the bases. Another one will be coming very soon.
And if you were one of the people that did not make it on the field for the regular bases, our personal cell phone number is 519-555-7542. He enjoys text. Lots of those.
I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of four-letter words in those texts.
He also enjoys calls around 2 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you, Eric.
Just saying.
All right, let's do this. All righty. Coming to you in 5.
I don't know why Alex keeps putting forward things when he's working in a hostile work environment.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. Top of the 4th inning, about to get underway here between the Majors and the Cardinals. Pedro de los Santos has been solid so far. 3 innings of work. Only 1 run came on the Justin Gideon homer in the first inning. We'll have to face Gideon here in this 4th frame as Luis Jean will lead things off. He'll be followed by Justin Gideon. And then Tyler Duncan. Luis Jean struck out in his first trip to the plate. He struck out swinging in that trip. Has 4 hits this year against the Majors. Looking for number 5 in this at-bat. Into the windup goes De Los Santos. Here's the first offering. In there on the outside corner. Jean not a fan. Home plate umpire has been making too many friends over the past couple of innings with the calls in the outside corner. Brownlee was frustrated. Now Jean frustrated as well at the plate. Here's the pitch on the ground. Right back up the middle. It'll be a base hit for Luis Jean. So a leadoff single for Hamilton has them in business in the 4th. That one hit pretty hard right back up the middle. And Justin Gideon will step up with the runner at first. Gideon sat back and drove a pitch in his last trip to the plate. Jean takes a quick lead over at first. De Los Santos fakes a move. Gideon drives this ball to center field now. Newton going back. Warning track. Wally leaps up. Wilkie making a great catch in center field. A fantastic play by Austin Wilkie, tracking that baseball in center. As Jacob Newton gives him a round of applause from second base. A great job by the Major center fielder. A fantastic play on a ball that was hit in a tough spot in center field. He had to run a long way. Had to find it at the time his jump and made a great play. 1 out. As Tyler Duncan will step into the dish. That one will miss outside. If Gideon hit that ball to any other part of the ballpark, it's out of here. But because it was straight away center, it stayed in and Wilkie was able to make a great grab. That ball is cut on and missed. So the count moves to 1-1 now. De Los Santos allowed Jean to reach on a hard single right back up the middle. Justin Gideon lined out to center field on the ground. Going to be a tough turn towards shortstop. Candell plays it on the backhand, fires over to first, not in time. That one was not hit overly hard, and then it took a bit of a funny hop on Keith Candell. He thought he had positioned himself perfectly, then had to reach back on the backhand and fire it over to first. Just did not get there in time to set down Tyler Duncan. So 2 runners on base now with 1 away, and that'll bring up Josh Niles. Niles 0 for 1 in the contest today. Grounded out to Keith Candell in his last trip. De Los Santos set out there on the mound. Here's the offering. That's in there for a called strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. Good block by Robert Mullen. Kept it in front of him. The runners will not try to advance. Jean stands at second. Duncan over at first. Niles at the dish. 1 ball, 1 strike count to him. Here's the offering. Line straight back at the screen. It's a foul ball, and the count moves to 1-2. De Los Santos a strike away from putting Niles away for the second out of the inning. He's also a good pitch away, a well-placed ground ball from a double play to end this inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That's in the air. Shallow center, shallow right, I should say. Going to be a tough play. Newton running out. Joseph coming in. Nobody gets there. It's going to drop in. Kind of a no man's land. Newton tried to make the grab reaching out. Joseph was sprinting in, and it dropped between the two of them. So that'll load the bases now with 1 out. Sean Petner will dig into the batter's box. He's 0 for 1 today. And a ground ball to Gibson Kreminski. The corners will come in for the Majors. Kreminski and Perrier. Candell and Newton will stay back, hoping for the double play ball. De Los Santos checks his surroundings, now gets on the rubber and looks in. Here's the first pitch. In there, called strike 1 to Petner. Into the windup goes De Los Santos. The 0-1 on its way. Cut on and miss, and a big block by Robert Mullen. As Sean Petner chased that one in the dirt, Mullen got in front of it to keep it from going to the backstop and to keep Jean standing over at third. Big pitch coming up. 0-2 count, 1 out. De Los Santos going to try to at least get a second out here while keeping the runners where they are on the bases. Here's the 0-2. Did not go after it, just outside the strike zone, and the count moves to 1-2, though the temptation was there for Petner. He did not chase. De Los Santos shakes once, gets the sign he wants from Mullen. On 1-2. Here's the pitch. In the dirt again, same spot, same result. This time it's ball 2. Instead of ball 1. As Petner slowly works his way back in this count. De Los Santos off the rubber, gathers his thoughts, now gets on, looks in for the sign from Mullen. And now he'll step off again. Wasn't sure what he wanted to go with on that offering. And they're going to call a balk. And Rube Chanadad is going to come out to the mound. Pedro De Los Santos was not on the rubber. I'm not sure how you can call a balk when the pitcher's not even on the rubber. Keith Candell's going to come in to talk to the umpire. And I don't know if you can appeal a balk, but if you can, the Majors should absolutely do it right here. Because I consider myself to be relatively familiar with balks. And that wasn't a balk. De Los Santos stepped off. And unless they are calling the balk on him stepping off, but that was a very delayed call, if that's the case. We'll see if maybe we can get a replay here, perhaps. Not sure. The umpires are going to talk it over. And they're going to keep the balk call as is. Rube Chanadad going to talk it over with the umpire. So the balk allows the go-ahead run to score. The umpire telling Rube to stop, and now he walks back towards him, the umpire does. Roop has said his piece. He'll go back to the dugout now. And boy, oh boy. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that De Los Santos stepped off with his plant leg. So it was almost as if he was going into the windup. But if that's what they called, they waited a very long time to call that because he's off the rubber at that point, trying to gather his thoughts, and they call the balk. We don't have the mics on the umpires like they do in Major League Baseball, where after a review they announce the call stands for so-and-so reason, and that'd be useful in this situation. So the infield will be drawn in for the Majors after the balk. Here's the 2-2. In there, called strike 3. So De Los Santos able to lock right back in and get Petner looking for the second out. The infield will be able to take it steps back into regular depth. If we hear anything, we'll pass it along. On that balk call, as Jeremy Veilleux will step up to the plate. 2 runners in scoring position. 2 out. Here's the pitch from De Los Santos. Veilleux takes that one low for ball 1. If you're watching the game, you're more familiar with balks than me. Feel free to leave a message in the chat on what you think happened. Here's the 1-0. On the ground towards shortstop. Candell will pick it up, fire it over to first, and in time. And De Los Santos still not happy, still talking it over with the umpire. And he's got every right to be frustrated because with the way he just pitched, he gets out of that inning unscathed if the balk call does not occur. So it's a 1-run game as the Hamilton Cardinals have taken the lead at 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Labatt Park. Justin Gideon went yard in the first inning for Hamilton, and then the balk scored the Cardinals' second run. In the bottom of the first, Cleveland Brownlee took one to left field on a well-hit line drive for the Majors' lone run in this contest. Majors have 2 hits in the ball game as well. One from Austin Wilkie, one was the home run from Cleveland Brownlee. Gabe Braun getting set for his 4th inning of work in this one, has thrown 40 pitches through 3 innings. He's been fantastic in terms of efficiency and in results. Only the 1 run allowed through 3 innings against this Majors offense is no small feat. And doing it on just 40 pitches makes it all the more impressive. Won't be an easy test here in this inning as Braun will have to face Robert Mullen, followed by Starling Joseph and Gibson Kraminski. Braun throwing his final warm-up pitches here in the bottom of the 4th, and he is ready to go as Jeremy Veilleux throws down to second base. As mentioned, Mullen, Joseph, Kraminski for the Majors. Mullen on his first trip to the plate got hit by a pitch on the first offering he saw. We'll see what Braun likes to attack him with here. It was a curveball inside, just happened to clip Mullen on the elbow area. He's set in the box. Braun looks in, out there on the mound, gets the go-ahead from the home plate umpire, takes a breath into the windup. Here's the first pitch of the bottom of the 4th inning. Mullen drives that one to right field. Moving over to his left is Duncan. He is there and makes the grab for the first out of the bottom of the 4th inning. Mullen got that one relatively deep, but Duncan just needed to take a few steps to his left in order to make that play. And that'll bring up Starling Joseph. Joseph 0 for 1 on the evening. Popped out to first. in his lone trip to the plate so far. Joseph with 6 home runs on the year for the Majors. 3rd on the team in that category. Looking in is Braun. Here's the pitch. That's outside. A ball and no strikes to the Majors right fielder. Robert Mullen has seen a total of 2 pitches in this ball game. He got hit on the first one he saw, and then the next one he flew out to right field. Starling Joseph going to look to fare a little bit better here in this at-bat. Ahead in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Crowd into it, cheering him on. Here's the pitch from Braun on its way. Inside, the breaking ball gets Joseph to bend back, and Majors fans oohing and eyeing in the crowd. After one of the fan favorites got a ball up and in, Joseph always smiling, always laughing, always dancing as well when he's out there. Just an infectious personality, has a great energy to him, and the fans love it. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Joseph. He swings through that one, and the count moves to 2-1 now. Took a big hack at that pitch and came up empty. See if he can make contact on this offering, if it's there for him. Looking in is Braun. Into the windup, here's the pitch. Joseph swings through that one. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2, 1 out. Braun in the ball game so far for Hamilton has 4 strikeouts. Looking for a potential 5th here in a 2-2 count against Joseph. Gets the sign he wants from Vieux. Into the windup, here's the pitch. That's well outside. A good take from Starling Joseph, and the count moves to full now with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Joseph not a guy who draws a large amount of walks. Seven on the year. The pitch is on the ground, right back up the middle. Going to be a tough play. A sliding stop over at second. Throw to first. Great scoop by Niles. And Tyler Giancos and Josh Niles combine for a very nice play to get the second out of the bottom of the 4th inning. We're getting word now back to that balk that they did call Pedro de los Santos for stepping off with the wrong foot. So when you're out on the mound, you're supposed to step off with your throwing foot, and De Los Santos stepped off with his glove foot, so he got called for the balk. And the reason you've got to step off with your throwing foot is because you're going to lead with your glove foot, and that makes the hitter think that you're going into your throwing motion. It was just a very delayed call out there, but because De Los Santos stepped off with the right instead of the left, he gets called for the balk, and the Cardinals have a 2-1 lead as the first pitch to Gibson Kraminski is in there for a strike. Here's the offering. Kraminski drives that one to the left center field gap. Slicing, that's going to get down. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Kraminski rounds first. He'll dig for second base and be up there standing. It's a 2-out stand-up double for Gibson Kraminski, and the Majors have a runner in scoring position. Many times this season, we've seen Gibson Kraminski drive that ball to the left center field gap, and it just continues to slice and slice and slice. Right there was over the head of the left fielder, Sean Petner. He couldn't track that baseball down, and Kraminski stands at second base with a double. On the year, Gibson Kraminski has hit 7 doubles now after that last one, tying him with Robert Mullen for 3rd on the team, just behind Keith Candell and Cleveland Brownlee. Candell with 9, Brownlee with 8. Kraminski is going to go to 3rd. Kraminski, is going to go to 3rd, and there's going to be a balk called on Braun now. Bo Lewington, first base coach for the Majors, was right on that. He was telling Kraminski to run as soon as Braun was on the mound, and I think the issue that Braun faced on that last one was he was in the windup, when he should have been going from the stretch, and that's why Lewington wanted Kreminski to run, so he stands 90 feet away. Here's the pitch to Dan Perrier. That's going to miss high for ball 1. That one is in there for a called strike. Not too sure what the reasoning was there on the balk. But Braun allows Wilkie to get to third. A ball and a strike on Perrier. Breaking ball. Foul territory. Going to be a tough play. Niles chasing. It's going to get into the crowd. It bounces down on the walkway, and Tyler Giancos has made a couple of fans for life, I think, because he flipped that baseball right back into the crowd after it bounced onto the field. So that'll make him a popular guy amongst the Majors faithful in attendance tonight, and the count moves to 1-2 on Perrier. The tying run stands at third base. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Dan Perrier. He's got a runner 90 feet away in Gibson Kreminski. Going to look to score him and even things up in this contest. The 2-2 pitch to Perrier. That's up and away for ball 3. A very good take from Dan Perrier on a pitch that was close enough to maybe swing at. But Perrier smartly laid off. Perrier just a couple of walks on the year in 53 plate appearances. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Well outside to Perrier, ball 4. A great plate appearance there by Dan Perrier. Got ahead, then fell behind and worked it all the way for a walk. So that's Perrier's third base on balls of the season, and Gabe Braun has runners on the corners now as Drew Lawrence will walk to the plate. Lawrence grounded out to shortstop in his last trip. He's got runners at the corners here. Ball deep enough into the gap, maybe able to score both runners. A base hit certainly scores 1 to tie the ball game up. That's all Lawrence should be thinking about right now at the plate. How can he get one into the outfield to score Kreminski from third? Perrier over at first. Braun taking his time. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss high to Drew Lawrence for ball 1. Lawrence took a quick look down to Casey David Pullum, the third base coach. Now looks back out there to the mound. Here's the 1-0. Off the plate outside. A smart take from Lawrence there. A tough one to lay off of because you know it's going to be close to the strike zone, and some umpires will call that, but it was definitely off the plate. Lawrence ready at the plate. Braun ready out there on the mound. Here's the 2-0 on its way. That's well outside for ball 3. So after walking Dan Perrier, Drew Lawrence is ahead in the count 3-0, and Gabe Braun seems to have lost the strike zone just a little bit. Kreminski stands at third. Perrier over at first. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's going to miss high to Lawrence for ball 4. So it's a 4-pitch walk for Drew Lawrence to load the bases now for Keith Candell. And there'll be a mound visit for Gabe Braun. Braun, after retiring the first 2 batters, Robert Mullen and Starling Joseph, allowed a hard hit double to Gibson Kreminski, then balked to allow Kreminski to get to third base, and Perrier walked after originally falling behind in the count. And then Drew Lawrence takes a 4-pitch walk. So they're loaded now for Keith Candell. 2 out, 1 good pitch gets Braun out of this inning. Candell in the ball game 0 for 1. Struck out looking on a beautiful breaking ball from Gabe Braun in his last trip to the plate. He's got a chance to do some damage here. The first pitch from Braun in there for a called strike one. So after the mound visit, he takes a strike. Pardon me, throws a strike, I should say. Candell took the strike. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out. In the bottom of the 4th inning, the bases are loaded for London. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Good block by Veilleux to hold the runner over at third base. Similar to what we saw from Robert Mullen in the top half of the inning, getting in front of a baseball with a runner 90 feet away in order to keep that run off the scoreboard. Unfortunately for Mullen, the run did come in to score because of the balk. 1-1 to Candell. Here's the pitch on its way. On the ground towards shortstop. Ortiz makes the play. Will go to second. He threw it away. Kraminski will come in to score. Coming in to score is Dan Perrier, and being held up at third is Drew Lawrence. Ortiz fired the ball into right field, and the Majors have taken the lead. It's 3-2. On what looked to be a routine play, Keith Candell gets 2 runners home. The throw goes up the line. Perrier came in to score. Lawrence got to third. Candell stands at second. The Majors aren't done in this bottom of the 4th inning, as they are up by a run. It's 3-2. Austin Wilkie digs in for the 3rd time today. Here's the first pitch. That's going to hit him. So Austin Wilkie on the very first pitch of his at-bat gets hit. The crowd not thrilled about it. And once again, the bases are loaded. Action in the Hamilton Cardinals bullpen right now, as the home plate umpire will walk a new baseball out to Gabe Braun. Try to get you who that is warming up shortly. Get a look at him throwing on your screen. Jacob Newton will dig into the batter's box here for the Majors. Bases loaded, 2 out. Here's the first pitch. That's going to miss high for ball 1. Newton looks out. Braun looks in. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, Newton belts it to center field. Going to be a tough play. Gideon chasing, warning track, and it's off the wall. 2 runs have come in to score. Being waved home is Wilkie. He will score. It's a bases clearing double for Jacob Newton. And the Majors lead. It's 6-2. Jacob Newton launched that ball to center field, and he clears the bases with a double. So London takes a 4-run lead, capitalizing on the error after Ortiz threw the ball away to allow 2 runs to score. Bases clearing double for Jacob Newton makes it 6-2 Majors, and a slow walk out to the mound. Looks like we may have a new arm into the ball game for the Hamilton Cardinals. And that'll mark the end of the ball game for Gabe Braun. So we will take a quick break here on Majors TV and bring you the new arm. Stay with us.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch them all.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Back here at Labatt Park, new arm on the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals, and that is Michael Bonacaroso coming into the ball game for Hamilton, wearing the number 24. A bit of confusion here at Labatt Park. Thought for a moment it was Nathan Scragg. Bonacaroso will work in his first outing as a member of the Hamilton Cardinals. Here in this one, he is a former member of the Welland Jackfish. Threw in 5 games for Welland this year, 7 1/3 innings, struck out 4, walked 6, had a .981 earned run average. His last outing, actually, funny enough, came against the Majors here on June 24th. He allowed 3 runs in 2 innings of work. That was the last time he threw for the Welland Jackfish. And gets back into game action, looking for a bit of revenge, against the Majors. Here's the first pitch to Cleveland Brownlee. It drops in there for a strike. Looks like it caught the catcher off guard a little bit. Jeremy Veer will go out and talk to Bonacaroso. After the first pitch seemed to be a cross-up, they got the strike nonetheless. Bonacaroso looks in. Here's the pitch. Big swing from Brownlee. He comes up empty on the high fastball. It's 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Cleveland Brownlee. He's got a runner in scoring position, standing at second base. Here's the offering on its way. Inside, nearly clipped Brownlee, but just missed him for ball 1. Brownlee, as previously mentioned, he is the leader in hit by pitches for the Majors this season. He's been hit 7 times so far this year. Bonacaroso sets out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. A good leave there for Cleveland Brownlee. The count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2, 2 out, runner at second base. That's Newton standing out there. Here's the pitch. Outside. Bonacaroso thought it was strike 3. Brownlee was hoping, because that's the same kind of pitch he got rung up on the last time, although this one looked like it was further off the corner. And the home plate umpire agrees. The count moves to full. Full count, 2 out. Newton won't be on the move unless the Majors put the steal on. Not a de facto steal situation. Brownlee doesn't chase. That's ball 4. They'll appeal to first. Did not swing, so Cleveland Brownlee draws the walk. And there'll be 2 guys on with 2 out. That'll bring up Robert Mullen, and Mullen led off this inning for the Majors. Mullen flew out to Tyler Duncan to start the bottom of the 4th. And what has been a 5-run frame for the home side. Bonacaroso will look in for the sign. Peeks back at second. Here's the offering. Mullen way ahead of it, smokes it towards the dugout. Look out to Majors photographer Matt Hiscox. Matt Hiscox, also the administrator of online presence for. for the Majors. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. Good block by Veilleux to keep it close. Newton and Brownlee will hold. And so the count moves to 1-1. Mullen coming into this trip to the plate had only seen 2 pitches in the ballgame. He's already doubled that here. A ball and a strike with 2 outs to the Majors catcher. The crowd cheering on Mullen. Bonacorso ready out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2. That one will squirt away from Veilleux, but not far enough for Newton or Brownlee to move up. So once again, they'll stick in their respective spots. Mullen looks out, Bonacorso looks in. He comes set out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss low and inside. So 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Mullen fouls that one off. And the count moves to full here at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Robert Mullen at the plate. Here's the offering. Runners on the move. Misses. Ball 4. Bonacorso thought he had strike 3, but that one is off the plate according to the home plate umpire. So Mullen draws the walk, and the bases will be loaded up for Starling Joseph. Joseph getting his second trip to the plate of this inning. Not many Majors hitless in this. Actually, that's a lie. There are quite a few Majors who are hitless in this ball game. Majors have just 2 hits in this inning, I'm told, and they've scored 5 runs. Jacob Newton and Gibson Kreminski both with doubles in this inning. Everything else has been a walk or an error or an out. Here's the pitch. Joseph hits that one hard to third. Going to be a tough play. Bounces off the glove of Jean into the air. 1 run will score. Brownlee getting the wave home. Here comes the throw. No throw. Cleveland Brownlee will come in to score, and he is hurt. He grabbed at his hamstring there as he crossed home plate, and he is in some pain. Behind the dish. That one was hit hard towards third. It was going to be a tough play for Luis Jean. Rube Chanadad comes out to check on his star, and Brownlee trying to walk it off here. 2 more runs come in to score on the Starling Joseph hit, and it's 8-2 London. It'll be ruled a single. It was smoked over to third base. Mullen stands at second. Joseph stands at first. That one misses. Here's the offering. And that is going to be called a strike, so a ball and a strike. Kreminski started the rally for the Majors with 2 out in this inning with a double to left center field. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike 2. One and two, 2 out, 2 on for the Majors. They lead 8-2 in this ball game. 7 runs have come here in this bottom of the 4th inning. That one gets inside on Kreminski, and it'll hit him. So the bases are loaded up. Home plate umpire right on top of that as it got Kreminski in the foot, and they're loaded for Dan Perrier. Dan Perrier already with 1 grand slam this season. Came against the Brantford Red Sox. The Ottawa native steps in with a chance to do even more damage for the Majors. Here's the pitch from Bonacorso on the ground towards third base. John will take his time, look to apply the tag on Starling Joseph. He steps back, so John will touch the bag. And the inning is over after the Majors plate 7 in the frame. They lead 8-2 from Labatt Park as we head to break.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, proud sponsor of your London Majors.
Back now for the 5th inning here from Labatt Park, and after a controversial balk call in the top of the 4th inning, which was later explained pretty well as just Pedro de los Santos stepped off the rubber with the wrong foot, the Majors took it to the Cardinals in the bottom of the 4th and scored 7 runs, all of which came with 2 out. After Robert Mullen and Starling Joseph were retired to start the inning, Gibson Kraminski hit a ball deep into the gap and got into scoring position. Immediately, Gabe Braun balked, which allowed Kraminski to move to third base, and then Braun walked Dan Perrier. So there were runners at the corners. Then Drew Lawrence walked to load the bases. And Keith Candell hit a routine-looking ground ball with the bases loaded. No runs home at this point. Looked like David Ortiz was going to be able to make a quick and easy play to second base, get out of the inning, head back to the dugout, allow Gabe Braun to continue in the ball game, but he threw it into right field, and that allowed 2 Majors runs to score to make it 3-2 London. Then Austin Wilkie got hit by a pitch. Jacob Newton hit a bases-clearing double to make it 6-2 Majors. And then Starling Joseph scorched a ball to third base that plated 2 London runners as Jacob Newton and Cleveland Brownlee came in to score on that single. And finally, they got out of it on a fielder's choice, where Luis Jean went to third base to get the final out of the innings. The Majors lead by 6 as we head to the top of the 5th. Pedro de los Santos going to look to continue to cruise in this ball game. He's been pitching very, very well. 2 runs have come across, a home run on his only poorly executed pitch in the first inning, and then a balk because he stepped off the mound with the wrong foot. That's baseball for you. So that'll bring up Robin Fox Pappas. For his second trip to the plate in the top of the 5th inning now as he grounded out in his first at-bat. De Los Santos goes into the windup. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike 1 according to the home plate umpire. Fox Pappas will talk it over, see if maybe that might have been a little bit low. He sure thought it was. Here's the offering from De Los Santos. That's going to miss. A ball and a strike. Into the windup goes Pedro. Here's the pitch. Hits the outside corner for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes for De Los Santos. He's got the bottom of the order to deal with. Fox Pappas, the number 8 hitter. Tyler Gianco bats 9th. And then back to the top, David Ortiz is due up 3rd in this inning. That is cut on and missed. Mullen will apply the tag on Fox Pappas. And that'll be the first out of the top of the 5th inning. De Los Santos with a strikeout. That is strikeout number 7 in the ball game, and perhaps the most encouraging sign for Pedro De Los Santos in this outing is that coupled with his 7 strikeouts, he has not walked a single batter. Pedro at times runs into trouble with his command and walks a lot of guys, but not the case here today, as Tyler Giancos will step up to the plate. Giancos is 0 for 1 today. Here's the pitch that is inside for ball 1. Giancos lined out to Drew Lawrence in his previous trip. De Los Santos pitch count at a pretty good spot right now at 62 pitches through 4 1/3 innings. Here's the pitch in there for strike 1. Here's the 1-1 on its way. Cut on and missed by Giancos. A ball and 2 strikes. Majors lead 8-2 in the top of the 5th inning here at Labatt Park. Here's the 1-2, ripped, broken bat, I should say, back up the middle, and Jacob Newton will throw it over to first base. That ball was not hit very hard, and it sounds like Tyler Giancos may have broken the bat there right off the end. And so David Ortiz will step over to the plate for the 3rd time in the ball game. He's 0 for 2. Ortiz struck out in his first trip and then struck out looking in his second trip to the plate. Into the windup goes De Los Santos. Here's the pitch. That's fouled off. That one was hit hard and heard some squeals down the first baseline. Looks like everybody's okay on the hard foul ball from Ortiz. And some cheering. Everyone's in a good mood. Always a positive sign. 0-1, here's the pitch from De Los Santos. In there, strike 2. Ortiz in danger of being struck out for the 3rd time in the ball game. Pedro ready on the mound. Ortiz ready in the box. Into the windup. Here's the pitch on the ground. Going to be a tough play. Charging hard, Kraminski on the run. Throw to first. Perrier the scoop. Oh boy. Looked like it got him up high. Was unable to come up with it. And Ortiz is going to reach. Mullen applies the tag in case Ortiz attempted to get to second base. We hope Dan Perrier's all right. It looks a little shaken up over at first. It was hard to tell where it got him, whether it was in the shoulder or up in the face area. But it definitely caught him, and David Ortiz will give him a pat on the back. Check on him. Starling Joseph comes down as well to talk to him. Perrier looks like he's all right. Roop Chanada took a few steps towards first, and Perrier seemed to be fine, so Roop was able to walk back to the dugout. It'll be ruled a base hit for David Ortiz, and Luis Jean will step up to the plate. Jean 1 for 2 in the contest. Struck out swinging and singled to center field. De Los Santos has a runner over at first base. 2 out. Here's the offering. In there, strike 1. Oh and 1, 2 out. Ortiz stands at first. Pedro De Los Santos holding on for a long time, and time is called at the plate. Something you often see when a pitcher holds on to try and mess with the runner's timing. The batter will call time. De Los Santos looks in for the sign from Mullen. Comes set. Here's the 0-1. On the ground to third base, Kraminski to his left. It's past him into left field. Ortiz with a hard turn around second. He'll stay there, and it's a base hit for Luis Jean, which has put 2 runners on for Hamilton. Justin Gideon steps into the batter's box for the Cardinals. He hit a home run in the first inning, which got Hamilton on the board in a hurry. Of course, the other run came home on the balk in the top of the 4th. So the only guy credited with a run batted in for the Cardinals in this one. Here's the pitch. Gideon on the ground, foul, and the count moves to a ball and a strike. Good pitch there from De Los Santos. Was low and in. Gideon chased it, and all he could do was foul it off. No action in the Cardinals bullpen, so you'd have to imagine Michael Bonacorso is going to be allowed to stay out there for the bottom of the 5th inning. Time called in the box, or time called by the umpire, I should say, is one of the Majors' bat boys was going to collect the ball. Here's the 1-1 on its way. That's going to miss. 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 count, 2 out. Pedro ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. On the ground, check swing, tapper towards Newton. He's going to have to hurry. Gideon's got good speed. The throw is not in time. Dan Perrier tried his best to stretch over at first base, but Justin Gideon, always hustling, beat that one out. So it's a pair of infield hits in this inning for the Hamilton Cardinals, and they've got the bases loaded now with 2 away as Tyler Duncan digs into the batter's box, and Robert Mullen will go talk to Pedro De Los Santos, figure out the game plan, try to calm him down, and get him ready to face the cleanup hitter for Hamilton. Mullen walk back to the plate. Duncan today 1 for 2 for the Cardinals. He singled on a ground ball to Keith Cantel in his previous trip to the plate after striking out in his first at-bat. Into the windup goes De Los Santos. The first pitch to Duncan is in there for a called strike 1 on the outside corner. Good movement on that pitch from Pedro. Found a good spot to hit, and it is strike 1. Here's the 0-1. In there for strike 2. So De Los Santos coming right after and getting ahead of Tyler Duncan with the bases loaded and 2 out, trying to get out of this inning unscathed. And looking to preserve this 6-run lead that the Majors currently have. Here's the 0-2 on its way from De Los Santos in the dirt for ball 1. Can't put him away with that offering, so the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes with 2 out in the top of the 5th inning. Bases are loaded for Hamilton. De Los Santos working from the windup. Here's the 1-2 on its way. On the ground towards first. Perrier will play it. He'll touch the bag. And the side is retired. So good job by Pedro De Los Santos after getting himself into some trouble to work his way out of it. With the bases loaded, gets a ground ball to Dan Perrier, and he's able to touch the bag and get the out as he gets checked on by Rube Chanardad after that play over at first base. And he'll head back into the dugout for the Majors. We'd like to say hi to Natalie, who's watching from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia tonight. We appreciate you joining us, Natalie. We appreciate everybody who's joined us tonight from various locations across the globe. Of course, we've always got a steady presence from Panama as people have come from far and wide to cheer on Robert Mullen in his time with the Majors. It's a beautiful night here in London. Rock the Park continuing at Harris Park. A Saturday night ball game. Perfect conditions. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything else this weekend. It's been a great weekend of baseball. I know the London Talons are hosting the second weekend of their tournament this weekend, and wishing good luck to all the teams that are participating. Michael Bonacorso is back out there for his second inning as he threw 18 pitches in a third of an inning. Only 8 of them were strikes, so we'll look to improve upon that in this frame. 44% of his pitches so far have been strikes. Not exactly where you want to live if you're out there on the mound, so we'll see if he can turn things around here. Bonacorso will have to face Drew Lawrence, Keith Candell, and Austin Wilkie for the majors. We're up here in the Game Day London broadcast booth to bring you the action in this one. My name is Dylan Baker. It's a pleasure to be with you. Drew Lawrence squares around a bunt, gets a good one down, falling over. Bonacorso going to have to make a strong throw to first, and he gets Drew Lawrence by about a step. Good play by the pitcher, Bonacorso, to get the first out of the 5th inning. Coming off the mound, he slipped initially and was able to recover. Fired one to first to get the first out. Keith Candell will step into the batter's box, and Keith Candell kind of had the big blow in that 4th inning. Aside from the Jacob Newton bases clearing double, Keith hit a ground ball to shortstop. Looked like it was going to be a routine fielder's choice, and David Ortiz just fired it away, and that allowed a couple of runs to score, gave the Majors the lead, and they just continued to ride that momentum. Here's the 1-0. That's going to miss low. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. That'll miss, so 3-0 now to Keith Candell. Candell way ahead on Bonacorso. The pitch is going to be a called strike 1 at the letters and above. I mean, that was high. Keith Candell thought it was high. The crowd thought it was high. I think Bonacorso thought it was high, but he'll certainly take the strike call. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the offering. That one might have even been in a better spot, but it's ball 4 to Candell. Austin Wilkie will step up to the batter's box for the Majors. He's 1 for 2 today. He's got a runner over at first base and less than 2 out. He's got 1 out. Keith Candell stands over there at first. Here's the pitch. Wilkie lines that one. That's found a hole in right center field. It'll get down. Candell moving to third. Gideon bobbles in center a little bit, and Candell gets the stop sign. Wilkie a hard turn around first. So it's a 1-out single for Austin Wilkie. And the Majors are in business. Runners at the corners here with 1 away. Jacob Newton will step into the batter's box for the Majors. Newton had the bases clearing double in the 4th inning for London that put them ahead 6-2 after the error put them ahead 3-2. Extended the lead for the Majors. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Jacob Newton at the plate. The pitch from Bonacorso. In the dirt for ball one. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be a strike on the swing, I believe. It's up as ball 2 on the scoreboard. It's 1-1. He called him for the swing. 1-1, 1 out. Here's the pitch on the move is Wilkie. Here's the throw to second. It's there, and they got him. So Austin Wilkie gets thrown out trying to swipe second base. A good throw from Jeremy Veilleux, and there are 2 away now with Keith Candell still standing at third base. 2 balls and a strike to Jacob Newton. Two-one pitch on the way from Bonacorso. Newton lines that one into center field, sinking quickly. Gideon on, and a great play by Justin Gideon to retire the side. A headlong dive coming in from center field. He makes the grab, and that'll do it for the 5th inning. We head to the top of the 6th here from London. Majors lead 8-2.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning. Currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Welcome back to Labatt Park. Dizzy Bat race going on here at Labatt here in this top of the 6th inning. Or just before the top of the 6th. In-game announcer Al Coombs, of course, doing a great job as always. Down at field level, keeping fans entertained. Him and Eric Collins make a great team up here in the press box. And always an enjoyable in-game experience for fans here at Labatt. Pedro de los Santos heads back out to the mound for his 6th inning of work. He's thrown 78 pitches through 5. He's allowed 2 runs, both of them earned. One of them a home run, one of them a balk. And if you've ever had the question, is a balk an earned run? Yes, it is. Also like to say hi to Charles in the chat, who's watching from Atlanta, Georgia. For Cleveland Brownlee, I'm told. Welcome to the chat, Charles. Welcome to the broadcast, everybody. Some changes defensively for the Majors. Phil Whalen has come into the ball game at first base for London. Whalen taking over for Dan Perrier. Perrier, of course, hit in the face, it looked like, hit up high by that throw. He seemed to be okay, but in a game where you're up 6 runs, as we move later and later on, not a bad idea to bring somebody in there just to be safe, give Perrier a chance to rest. Played last night, played in all 3 last weekend, so he's got a chance to sit back and relax a little bit here as we move along here at Labatt Park. Josh Niles will dig into the batter's box. He's 1 for 2 today against Pedro de los Santos. He'll see him for the 3rd time in this at-bat. Grounded out and singled to this point. Here's the first offering. That's a called strike. Here's the 0-1. That'll miss for ball one. Pedro so far in this ball game, out of his 80 pitches thrown, 57 have been strikes. That's good for a 71% strike percentage. He's been commanding the zone. Niles hits that one sky high to left field. Lawrence moving back, and he's got that one just shy of the warning track for the first out. And off the bat, a few people were oohing and eyeing at that fly ball. Just hit very high off the bat of Josh Niles, not overly deep. Good play by Drew Lawrence out in left, and Sean Petner will dig into the batter's box for Hamilton. Petner playing left field in this contest. Into the windup goes De Los Santos. That's cut on and missed by Petner for strike one. Pedro's allowed 2 runs on 7 hits, struck out 7. Up to this point, here's the pitch. That is well outside. It gets past Robert Mullen. And the count moves to a ball and a strike. As mentioned, Phil Whalen into the game over at first base for Dan Perrier. Here's the pitch on the ground towards Whalen over at first. That one will get foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Here's the offering from De Los Santos. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the 8th strikeout victim of the ball game for Pedro De Los Santos, and he's got 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Another great job by Pedro. That pitch dove away from the left-handed batter. He was able to get him to swing right over top of it for strike 3. Jeremy Veilleux will step up for the 3rd time. Into the windup goes De Los Santos. That one will miss for ball 1. That pitch is on the ground towards third base. Kraminski comes in on the run throw to Whalen, and that'll do it for the top of the 6th inning. So 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals in the top of the 6th. A fly out, a strikeout, and a ground out, and Pedro De Los Santos just continues to roll right now for London. Pedro, although he's allowed 7 hits, which is probably a little higher than I'm sure he'd like, he's been commanding the strike zone very well. He's been pretty efficient. And it's led to success in this ball game. Majors up by 6 runs. The Hamilton Cardinals will call upon Michael Bonacorso once again to get through this bottom of the 6th. Bonacorso to this point is pitching in the 3rd, thrown 29 pitches for the Hamilton Cardinals. Relieved Gabe Braun in a tough spot after having given up a bases clearing double to Jacob Newton. Bonacorso's been charged with 1 earned run. Walked 3 batters so far, hasn't struck out 1. Scheduled to be Cleveland, Brownlee, Robert Mullen, Starling, Joseph, but I don't see Cleveland out there. Looks like that's Kieran Bowles who is coming into the ball game for Cleveland. So Cleveland's evening appears to be complete. We'll wait for Bowles to get officially announced into the ball game, but if it's done, Brownlee goes 1 for 2 with the home run, 2 runs scored, a walk, struck out once. A very good game overall for Cleveland Brownlee. Something up with the ball out there on the mound. Bonacorso taking his time to rub it up, or just waiting for his catcher to come out, I guess, as Veilleux was getting the gear on in the Hamilton dugout. So with the defensive substitution of Phil Whalen for Dan Perrier, Whalen will bat 7th in Perrier's spot, right after Gibson Kraminski and just before Drew Lawrence. Majors with several players still available on the bench as well, if they want to give some more guys some time off their feet. Bonacorso ready out there on the mound, and Kieran Bowles will step towards the batter's box. Bowles this season for the majors in limited playing time has played in 14 games, batting .280, 7 hits in 25 at-bats. Each of those hits has been a single. He's got 4 runs batted in, 7 runs scored on the year for the majors, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Bowles, in his small sample size, has been a good hitter for London. Here's the first pitch from Bonacorso. That's in there for a called strike 1. Bonacorso with the stirrup high socks for the Hamilton Cardinals. Here's the offering. That's cut on and missed. Strike 2 to Kieran Bowles. Bowles, of course, as previously mentioned, more walks and strikeouts this season. Going to look to keep that trend intact if he can avoid getting punched out here. The 0-2 on its way. That's in there for a called strike 3. So a called strike, a swinging strike, and a called strike sets down Kieran Bowles on 3 pitches. And a good start to the bottom of the 6th inning for Michael Bonacorso. Mullen steps into the batter's box for the majors, now 0 for 1. He's walked and been hit by a pitch in 3 plate appearances. In addition to his 2 occasions reaching base, he flew out to right field. The first pitch to Mullen is off the plate outside for ball 1. The 1-0 from Bonacorso is going to miss well outside for ball 2. Now Mullen has seen Bonacorso once in this ball game already. He walked. He was the second walk against Bonacorso. Cleveland Brownlee walked just before him. A swing and a miss from Robert Mullen on that pitch, and the count moves from 2-0 to 2-1 to the slugging catcher. Majors up 8-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Bonacorso looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch. That is low and away for ball 3. So a good hitter's count now for Robert Mullen. The count moves to 3-1. The 3-1 on its way. Breaking ball. Mullen in the air to center field. Gideon initially broke back. Now has to come in and makes the play for the second out of the bottom of the 6th. A shallow fly ball there off the bat of Robert Mullen. Just missed it. Looked like he got it off the end of the bat into center field. And as I mentioned, Gideon thought it was going to be deeper because off the bat it looked like it was going deeper, but didn't have the juice on it. So Gideon bolted in, and with his speed and athleticism, he was able to make that play. 1 for 3. Starling Joseph will step up to the plate for the majors. He singled on a hard ground ball to third base in his last trip. Louis Jean had a little bit of trouble with it over at third, because it was hit so hard, so it was ruled a hit. Bonacorso looks in for the sign, shakes off his catcher once. Joseph ready in the batter's box. Here's the pitch, breaking ball just off the outside for ball 1. Joseph shaking his head to the home plate umpire. Home plate umpire says, I know, that's a ball. Here's the 1-0 on its way. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Bonacorso's come with 2 breaking balls, aiming for the outside corner, and hasn't been able to find it just yet. Shakes off his catcher once, gets the sign he wants. The 2-0 on its way to Joseph. Off the outside corner again. Clearly the game plan is to not give anything on the inside part of the plate to Starling Joseph, and while they haven't been bad pitches, Bonacorso's missed the zone 3 times. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 out. Here's the offering on its way. Cut on and missed by Joseph. He was swinging away at that 3-0 pitch and came up empty. Took a huge cut at it. Count moves to 3 balls and a strike. Bonacorso, a native of Mississauga, attended St. Peter's University. 3-1 on its way. Cut on and missed once again by Joseph. 2 big swings by the Majors right fielder. And the count goes from 3-0 to full. Bonacorso with that right arm dangling, looks in. Gets the sign he wants from Veilleux. Joseph ready in the batter's box. A 3-2 on its way. Starling Joseph absolutely clobbers that baseball onto the walkway. Goodbye, home run. Starling Joseph launches one on a full count pitch here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and he extends the Majors lead to 9-2. Joseph took a second to admire that one, and you can't blame him. It was launched for Starling's 7th home run of the year. Gibson Kreminski will dig into the batter's box now for the Majors following the Joseph home run. Second earned run for Bonacorso in his outing. Now spanned 2 innings and 43 pitches. That one will miss inside. Action in the Hamilton bullpen. Just some light tossing. Looks like whoever it is out there just got up. Here's the 1-0, and Kreminski hits that one high, not overly deep. Gideon coming in. He makes the catch, and the side is retired, but a big blow delivered by Starling Joseph to put the Majors ahead by 7. We head to the top of the 7th inning at Labatt Park, 9-2 London.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, a proud sponsor of your London Majors.
7th inning about to get underway here from Labatt Park, and Pedro de los Santos is back out there for his 7th inning of work. He's been stellar to this point, 87 pitches through 6 innings of work. He's allowed 7 hits, which is maybe a little higher than where you'd like it to be, but just the 2 runs on the scoreboard. He has struck out 8 batters in this ball game, has yet to walk 1. It's been a tidy outing for Pedro de los Santos on the mound for London. In the top of the 7th inning, Pedro will have to begin things with Robin Fox Pappas and then Tyler Giancos, followed by David Ortiz. So it'll be 8-9-1 for the Cardinals. Not a bad spot to let Pedro ride here as Brent Wales comes back from the Majors bullpen. Probably talking to see who's good to go. Daniel Gore looks like he's up and moving. Bo Lewington as well. Trying to plan for who's on the docket after De Los Santos, but for now, Our attention is focused on the game at hand. Pedro de los Santos out there for a 7th inning of work. And the first pitch to Robin Fox Pappas is in the dirt for ball 1. No balls, pardon me, 1 ball, no strikes. That is cut on and missed, so the count moves to 1-1. Fox Pappas 0 for 2 today. Into the windup, De Los Santos. Here's the pitch. In there, strike 2. Fox Pappas grounded out to Jacob Newton in his first trip and then struck out swinging the next time he came up. Here's the 1-2 on its way from Pedro. Cut on and missed, strike 3, make it 9 strikeouts for Pedro de los Santos today. It's the second time he's set down Fox Pappas on strikes, and there's 1 out at the top of the 7th inning. Tato Giancos will step in for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 2 as well. A line out and a ground out. He's yet to be set down on strikes. You know, De Los Santos would love to get double-digit strikeouts if possible in this outing. He's 1 strikeout away from that feat. Here's the pitch. Fouled off by Giancos for strike 1. Giancos steps out, gathers himself, and gets back in the batter's box. Pedro de los Santos ready on the mound, and the windup. Here's the 0-1. Outside for ball 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. To the second baseman for the Hamilton Cardinals. Here's the pitch. Giancos on the ground towards third, just foul. Third base umpire right on top of it with a passionate call. The worst kind of umpire is an umpire who doesn't care and just throws his arms up. That's a call to show that he's in it. An enthusiastic call over at third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the offering in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes now from the Majors left-hander to Giancos. De Los Santos shakes Mullen once. Here's the 2-2 on its way in the dirt for ball 3. That throw from Robert Mullen, thrown a little bit too hard, and De Los Santos couldn't come up with it. So full count, 1 out. Giancos at the plate, De Los Santos out there on the mound, now up to 96 pitches in the ball game. Here's the offering, outside corner, called strike 3. Giancos is strikeout victim number 10 in the ball game for Pedro de los Santos. He's into double digits in this fantastic outing. So that'll bring up David Ortiz to the plate. Ortiz 1 for 3. He struck out swinging his first time, looking his second time, and then singled on a ground ball to Gibson Kraminski, and the throw to first bounced up high on Dan Perrier. And he reached. First pitch from De Los Santos in there, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the offering. Hit hard down the line. That's a fair ball. It'll go towards the corner. Drew Lawrence going to try to track that ball down. It gets past him into second base is Ortiz. He's going to dig for third after a hard turn. He'll hold up. A very strong throw from Drew Lawrence in the corner keeps Ortiz to a double. That ball was hit hard off the bat of David Ortiz down the left field line, just inside the bag, and the third base umpire was able to make that call. A 2-bagger for Ortiz, and that'll bring up Luis Jean. Jean is 2 for 3 in the ball game. He's had great success against the Majors. Came into the ball game with 4 hits against the Majors this season in 4 games played. Correction, 3 games played. and has 2 additional hits in this one. 9-2 Majors in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch in the air. It's shallow to center. Going to be a tough play. Coming on Wilkie, coming on Joseph. They both dive. Did somebody catch it? No catch. No catch, says the first base umpire. Coming in to score is David Ortiz. And Starling Joseph came up as if he caught it. Keith Candell can't believe that they ruled that a no catch. And Roop Chanadad is going to come out to talk to the umpires. We're going to get a look at it up here in the booth for ourselves. Not sure if we're able to get it on replay. A fly ball, Joseph coming on. Oh, he caught that baseball, it looked like. I don't know. It was going to be tight. He came up with it with the bare hand, which made it look to the umpire at least. You'll get a look at the replay. Here, that's the double for David Ortiz. So the call will remain no catch. Justin Gideon steps up to the plate. And it is a 9-3 ball game. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1 to Gideon. It will be ruled a base hit for Luis Jean. No surprise there. Tough play for Joseph to make. Gideon will step out of the batter's box here. Runner over at first base, 2 out. No balls and 1 strike is the count. Here's the offering. Gideon hits that one hard back up the middle. It'll get in for a base hit. So Jean will move up 90 feet, as will Gideon, and there are 2 on now. For the Hamilton Cardinals. Tyler Duncan will step up to the plate. For Hamilton, Brent Wales will come out to the mound to talk it over with Pedro. Here as they look to plan things out, and we'll take this opportunity to remind you that next Friday the Majors are here against the Barrie Bay Cats to celebrate the London Beefeaters Championship. PA announcer Eric Collins announces the Majors are on TikTok, and I'm sure somewhere Andrew Wark is celebrating that announcement. So we've got a look now at the replay of the near catch for Starling Joseph. We got a bit of a look at it on our screens here, and a pretty good angle. Now, I think what the umpire saw was the fact that Joseph turned and picked it up with his bare hand, which is why he ruled it no catch. Great effort by Starling. He's laughing, as you can see on the replay, as Luis Jean will move up 90 feet on that pitch. On what will be ruled a passed ball on ball 1. Runners at the corners now, 2 out. 1 ball, no strikes. De Los Santos will step off and look the runner back to first base. That is Justin Gideon standing over first. Definitely a threat to run. Gideon knows he's got speed, likes to use it. Always hustling when he's out there on the field. Here's the 1-0. On the ground towards second. Newton was shaded to first. Bobbles that baseball. Duncan will reach as he booted it trying to pick it up, and that'll be an error charge to Jacob Newton. It's the first error charge to the Majors in this ball game. So Gideon moves up to second base. Luis Jean comes in to score, and it's a 9-4 ball game here at Labatt Park, with Josh Niles bring his big bat into the batter's box. Bo Lewington throwing in the bullpen for the Majors. Here's the pitch to Niles. That's in there for a called strike. Oh, 0-1. Here's the pitch. In there, strike two. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. To Hamilton's first baseman. On the move is Gideon. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. It'll get to the backstop. Gideon going to take a hard turn around third base and stay there. It got right through the wickets of Robert Mullen. And we'll see if they score that a stolen base or if Gideon just moved up on the wild pitch. It will be a wild pitch to allow Gideon to advance. He was moving on the pitch. So a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Here's the offering from De Los Santos in the dirt. A good block by Mullen to keep Gideon over at third base. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Both of whom are in scoring position. De Los Santos into the windup. Here's the pitch to Niles in the dirt for ball 3. So De Los Santos trying to put away Josh Niles, misses low, and the count moves to full. Full count, 2 out. Here's the pitch from De Los Santos. Just missed. It's ball 4. So Josh Niles works a 2-out walk to load the bases. And Sean Petner will dig into the batter's box in a great opportunity to drive home some runs for Hamilton. Roop Chanardad looking down to the bullpen to see if Bo Lewington's ready. Pedro De Los Santos up at 110 pitches. Here's the pitch. Petner in the air, foul territory, drifting, and that will get out of play. It's a foul ball. 0-1 the count. Pedro gets himself a new baseball after the one that was given to him was not to his liking. Now he's got a good one. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out in the inning. Here's the pitch to Petner. Outside, Mullen is able to keep it in front of him. Tying run sits on deck for the Hamilton Cardinals as they trail by 5. A Petner grand slam, if it happens here, would only make it a 1-run game. Here's the pitch. That's low. The crowd thought it should have been a strike, but it was definitely low, and the count moves to 2 balls and a strike here. Two and 1, 2 out. De Los Santos into the windup. Here's the pitch. In the air, foul territory. That one will get out of play as well into the trees beyond the grandstand here. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now. Once again, De Los Santos has this count. Gets a ball he doesn't really like, so he's going to get a new one. After that one also went out of play. Here's the 2-2 home. In there, called strike 3. That's strikeout number 11 in the ball game for Pedro de los Santos, who's had a fantastic outing for the Majors in this one. It's stretch time here at Labatt Park. The Majors lead 9-4. They're being out-hit by the Hamilton Cardinals 10-7, but they lead in the runs column, which is the only one that matters, as the home plate umpire hearing it from the Hamilton third base coach a little bit. Take this opportunity up in the Game Day London broadcast booth to stretch things out a little bit after sitting for the previous 7 innings. Getting a chance to stand up, stretch out, look around the crowd. A pretty decent crowd here at Labatt Park for a Saturday. Of course, Pride Night at the ballpark. Majors have a few shirts, it looks like, to celebrate Pride. And you may have seen the post on social media where a few Majors players held up the Pride flag. I believe it was Starling Joseph, Bo Lewington, Kieran Bowles, and Braden Farrington. And that's a beautiful transition into our social media. You can follow the Majors on social media at London Majors on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If you're watching us here on YouTube, we hope you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Over 700 of you are subscribed to the London Majors on YouTube, and we hope that that number will just continue to grow as the Inter-County Baseball League grows in popularity. And listen, the media efforts by every team in the IBL have certainly helped to grow the league over recent years, with the live streams being mandated across the league last season. Everybody put on a good product, and fans are able to watch from home. A new arm out there on the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals, taking over from Michael Bonacorso. And it's number 93, listed on point streak as Michael Bonacorso, funny enough. So we will try to get you who that is. We don't have access here in the Game Day London broadcast booth to the lineup card for the Hamilton Cardinals. We've got their lineup. We don't have the substitutions. So it looks like Bonacorso is not wearing 93 anymore, if he was in fact the one who pitched the previous innings. As see some fans having a good time at stretch time. Phil Whelan will dig into the batter's box for London to face the new arm. That is Dari Torres taking over for Hamilton. First pitch is a called strike. Torres also listed as number 93 on the Cardinals website, along with Bonacorso. Here's the pitch. Whalen pops that one into foul territory. The catcher, Veilleux, camped under it, and he's got it. A good play there for the first out of this bottom of the 7th inning. So Phil Whelan goes quickly to start off the bottom of the 7th, and Drew Lawrence will step up to the batter's box for the London Majors. Lawrence 0 for 3 today, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Here's the first pitch to Lawrence on the ground, back up the middle, going to be a tough play. Giancos to his right on the run, throw to first. Lawrence dives. They got him. Drew Lawrence is not happy. He thought he was safe, and he's hearing it from the first base umpire, who I believe might have just thrown him out. The first base umpire was hidden behind first baseman Josh Niles a little bit, but I thought I saw the left arm motion that he was gone. And Lawrence will head right to the clubhouse for the Majors, so he is done in this ball game. It looked from our angle on the camera like he had been thrown out, but it was hard to tell because the umpire was kind of hidden behind Josh Niles. Either way, Lawrence went straight to the locker room and is likely done. That pitch is in there for a called strike one to Keith Candell. That one is outside for ball one. So 1-1 to Candell. Torres ready out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. That's outside for ball two. Cut on and miss, so the count will move to 2 balls and 2 strikes now on the Majors shortstop, who's still looking for his first hit in the ball game. Reached base on the error earlier on by the shortstop David Ortiz. Here's the 2-2. That's in the dirt outside. The count moves to full at 3-2. So full count, 2 out. Dari Torres has only thrown 8 pitches through 2/3 of an inning. Here's the offering inside, and that'll be ball 4 to Keith Candell. And I'm not sure if it clipped him a little bit, but he will reach base for London either way, whether it's hit by pitch or ball 4. And so Candell will stand at first base as Austin Wilkie will step up to the batter's box for the 4th time in this one. Bo Lewington still warming up in the Majors bullpen. Likely going to take over for Pedro de los Santos. In the 8th inning, you'd have to imagine, unless Pedro can make one heck of a case to Roop Trinidad for why he should stay in. Torres peeks back at Candell. He's got a pretty big lead, so Torres will throw over. Candell back with a dive. Here's the pitch. In there. So 0-1 now on Austin Wilkie. Here's the 0-1 on the move. Candell lined back to the screen, and if there was no screen, I would have had that. I'm confident in saying that. It was lined straight back towards us up here in the Game Day London broadcast booth. I think I could have made that play. Austin Wilkie was right on it in the batter's box for the Majors, and he's behind in the count 0-2 now after the hit and run, it looked like, did not come to fruition. Wilkie fouled it off while Candell was on the move. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. A throw over to first, and Candell back with a dive. Second throw over of this at-bat. Here's the pitch. Just off the plate. Torres thought he had strike 3. Instead, it's ball 1 to Austin Wilkie. Torres leans in, looks for the sign from his catcher, Veilleux. Here's the 1-2 home. Line drive sinking quickly into center field. It'll drop in front of Justin Gideon, and with 2 out, Candell didn't have to hold, so he gets into second base. And all of a sudden, with 2 away, the Majors are putting a little something together. There's runners at first and second. We appreciate the Hamilton Cardinals in the chat telling us that it was Dari Torres coming into the ball game. One of the things you can always rely on when the Cardinals are in town is that the official Cardinals YouTube page will be in the chat helping you out whenever you need something. I remember when the Cardinals were in town in late June, they did the same thing when we were looking for a pitcher. So thank you very much for all the help. As Jacob Newton steps into the batter's box. On the ground, back up the middle. It'll get right past David Ortiz into center field. Candell gets the wave. He's going to come home. No throw from Justin Gideon. And the Majors have scored their 10th run of the ball game. It's 10-4. Base hit for Jacob Newton. So Candell will come in to score on the single. Austin Wilkie will hold up at second base, and Candell is over at first as Kieran Bowles steps in. Bowles was a strikeout victim on just 3 pitches in his last trip to the plate. That was his first of the ball game. Came on in place of Cleveland Brownlee. Here's the pitch in there, strike 1 to Bowles. It'll be interesting to see how Roop Channerdat likes to play his defense if Drew Lawrence is in fact ejected, which we believe he is. I haven't seen him down on the bench ever since the play where it looked like he was tossed. No balls, 2 strikes to Bowles. Here's the pitch, fouled off. Count will remain 0-2, able to battle and stay alive. And Torres will have to come back on 0-2. Newton in conversation with Niles over there at first base, and time called as Jeremy Veer will come out to talk to Dari Torres. Just want to make sure they're on the same page. Big pitch coming up, looking to put away Kieran Bowles in a big spot. So a quick conversation just to ensure they know what they want to come with here on 0-2, as they were taking a little while to figure it out. Torres looks in, comes set. Here's the 0-2 on its way inside, just missing the corner to Kieran Bowles. And so the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Wilkie at second, Newton at first. Here's the pitch. That's low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bowles. Bowles, as mentioned, 0 for 1, struck out in his last trip to the plate. On 3 pitches, fell behind 0-2 very quickly here in this one, and has been able to battle since. A foul ball and taking a couple of tough pitches. That one is a check swing foul off by Bowles, so he stays alive once again at the plate. Two and two out. 2 on for the Majors in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the offering to Bowles in the air. Fouled off again. A great battle right now between Dari Torres and Kieran Bowles. Bowles has seen 7 pitches in this trip to the plate for the Majors, and he's not done yet. Here's the pitch. Fouled off by Bowles right there, and he continues to lock horns with Torres. Lewington still throwing and getting loose in the bullpen for the Majors. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Here comes once again. Bowles fouls that one off. Here, come on now from the crowd. They just want somebody to do something. It's been a lot of foul offs by Kieran Bowles in this at-bat. A 9-pitch at-bat so far for Bowles. Let's see if he can extend it here. The 2-2 once more. Pitch on its way outside. So pitch number 10 misses, and Kieran Bowles continues to battle at the plate as the count moves to full. So Wilkie and Newton will be on the move on this pitch. Full count, 2 out. Dari Torres looking in for the sign. Looking out as Kieran Bowles, 3-2 on its way. Bowles fouls that one off. So it'll be a full count offering once more from Dari Torres. He looks into the sign. Comes set out there on the mound. The 3-2 to Bowles. Runners on the move in the air. Shallow center. Gideon coming in, heading out the second baseman. Gideon calls him off, and he makes the grab. A great play to end the bottom of the 7th inning. We're headed to the top of the 8th here at Labatt Park. You're watching the Majors and Cardinals on MajorsTV.
My name's Tiffany Creasy, and I take care of the sales and marketing at Rickard Promotions and Recognition. Some of the things that we do at Rickard Promotions and Recognition is we bring your brand to life. We kind of put your logo on anything that you can give away or brand, and we can service clients right across Canada. At Rickard Promotions and Recognition, we can take care of your designing of your logo for any artwork that you need done for the branding. And a lot of people don't realize we can do that here. We also have our in-house production that we take care of your order from start to finish right here at our one location. So with keeping everything in-house from graphic design to in-house production, we're able to get you your order a lot quicker with a faster turnaround time. We'll help gather your ideas together, give you some options to kind of narrow down the search for you, whether it be from your apparel to promotional products. And from there, we'll get your mock-ups done, proofs done, order done, and the quality control is right there all along the way for you.
So tell me where it hides. I know I got some lightning, currents running through me. I found that silver lining on the inside of me. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Game Day London broadcast booth here at Labatt Park. It's been an exciting one so far between the Majors and the Hamilton Cardinals. Majors leading 10-4 now as we enter the top of the 8th inning here at Labatt Park. There'll be a new arm on the mound for the Majors. We'll get to that momentarily. The Majors fell behind early with a Justin Gideon home run in the first inning. Cleveland Brownlee answered right back with a home run of his own, and then a big fourth gave the Majors the lead, a lead on which they have never looked back in this contest. It's been an offensive onslaught. Although they are being out-hit by the Hamilton Cardinals, it's been the walks and the errors that have cost the Redbirds so far in this ball game. The pitching for Pedro de los Santos has also been stellar for the team, and he is being relieved now by Bo Lewington out there on the mound. You get a look at it on your screen there. Bo coming into this ball game has had success for the Majors this season, coming off a bit of a rougher outing. He struggled a little bit last Friday night against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Lewington now working in game number 8 on the year, has pitched in 13 2/3 innings. Has an ERA at 5.92 coming into this contest. 9 earned runs in those 13 2/3. Struck out 12, walked 7. He'll be asked to get through the 8th and maybe more. We'll see what the plan is for Bo as he gets set out there on the mound. First batter Bo Lewington will face will be Jeremy Veilleux. It'll be Veilleux, Fox Pappas, and Gianco. 7-8-9 for the Hamilton Cardinals. Due up in the 8th. Here's the pitch. On the ground foul. It looks like Drew Lawrence has not been thrown out of this ball game. That's him in left field right now for the Majors, so he is not ejected. We weren't sure. It was tough to tell. And the umpire might have told him just go back to the dugout before I toss you. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball from Lewington in there. Called strike 2. So he's ahead of Veilleux. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 on its way. Breaking ball comes a little too far inside. And so the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes on Veilleux. Lewington looking to put away the Hamilton catcher. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, no chase. Good pitch, but no swing from Veilleux. And so he will see the next one in a 2-2 count. Lewington with the big beard, the glasses, has an aura about him that is beyond compare. Here's the 2-2. Line straight back to the backstop, and the count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a good battle brewing right now between Lewington and Veilleux. He looks in for the sign from Robert Mullen. He's got the one he wants. Here's the 2-2 on its way. That one misses high. A few people in the crowd thought that should have been strike 3. Instead, the count moves to full. So full count, nobody out. Lewington out there on the mound. Veilleux at the plate. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed, strike 3. So Bo Lewington strikes out the first batter he faces. Jeremy Veilleux down on strikes, and there's one out in the top of the 8th inning. Robin Fox Pappas will step into the batter's box for the Hamilton Cardinals here in the top of the 8th inning. Fox Pappas 0 for 3 in the ball game so far as the DH. Grounded out in his first trip and struck out swinging both times he's come to the plate since. All of that against Pedro de los Santos. We'll see how he fares against Lewington as the first pitch misses off the plate outside. Robert Mullen thought that should have been a strike. You could see him react to the call from the home plate umpire. Lewington ready out there on the mound. Here's the 1-0. Cut on and missed. 1-1. The Majors righty looks in. Gets the sign he wants from Mullen. Working from the stretch. Here's the 1-1. Up and in. That'll be ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike. Now Lewington already up to 10 pitches in this outing so far. Half of them have been strikes. Here's the 2-1. Cut on and missed, strike 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Robin Fox Pappas as Lewington looking to strike out the second consecutive batter. Here's the 2-2 on its way. Oh, man. Just off the plate outside. Mullen thought that was strike 3. Lewington thought that was strike 3. Quite a few fans thought that was strike 3, but just like the first pitch was called a ball, that one missed as well, according to the home plate umpire. Here's the 3-2 from Lewington. On the ground, back towards the pitcher's mound. Lewington steps off, fires way high, well over the head of Phil Whalen down the right field line. Fox Pappas won't try to move up. And that'll be ruled an error on Bo Lewington. He fielded it and then threw it well high. So Tyler Giancos will step up to the plate, the number 9 hitter for the Hamilton Cardinals. He'll come up with a runner over at first base and 1 out in the inning. Lewington, if he gets a ball on the ground here, could get out of this thing with a double play. There'll be a mound visit here. Roop Chandadak going to come out to talk to Bo Lewington. Robert Mullen out there as well, as they will try to figure things out. Bo Lewington among Majors relievers this season is at the very bottom of ground ball percentage. It's a pretty even split in terms of balls in play for Bo Lewington. 31% line drives, 31% fly balls, and a 36% ground ball rate. So the ground ball possibly not what Lewington is going to be looking for here, as he's more of a strikeout guy. As we try to get you the pinch runner here for the Hamilton Cardinals. First pitch misses for ball 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. Here's the pitch. That one misses. 2 balls and a strike. We'll see if we can get a look at the runner over at first base. We believe, yes, that's Spencer Bach over at first base. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. So Bach takes over as a pinch runner for Fox Pappas. Lewington peeks over. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off by Giancos. Bach stands at first with 1 out. Took over for Fox Pappas, who reached on an error. Bo Lewington looks in for the sign from Robert Mullen. Bach increasing his lead over at first, not running. That pitch is hit on the ground, but foul. So good battle brewing between Giancos and Lewington. You will look to put him away here. 6-pitch at bat already for Tyler Giancos. The pitch count, for Bo Lewington at 19. He threw, I think, 4 1/3 innings of relief against the Guelph Royals in a ball game. So the pitch count right now, where it's at, not necessarily something to worry about if you were Ruth Chanardad in the majors. Hit slowly on the ground towards third base. Gibson Kraminski with a throw to first in time for the second out of this 8th inning. Spencer Bach will move up to second base on the play. And that'll bring up David Ortiz. Ortiz is 2 for 4 in this contest. Ortiz batting from the left side for the first time in this one. He's a switch hitter. Hit right-handed against De Los Santos. Obviously, Pedro a lefty for the majors. Now that the righty Lewington's in the ball game, he turns around to bat from the left side. His team trailing 10-4. He's got a runner in scoring position, but he does have 2 out. Here's the first offering. Ortiz swings right through it for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes on Ortiz. Lewington got to a 2-strike count on Veilleux, and Giancos had a little bit of trouble putting them away. Fox Pappas, he nearly struck out. It looked like it was strike 3, but according to the home plate umpire, it missed, and Fox Pappas reached on an error. Here's the pitch. In the air, foul territory. That one gets out of play. So Ortiz spoils 1-0-2 pitch. And he digs back into the batter's box to face an 0-2 count once more. Lewington set out there on the mound. Peeks back. Here's the offering. Outside corner, called strike 3. Bo Lewington strikes out David Ortiz, and that'll do it for the top of the 8th inning here at Labatt Park. And a great inning for Bo Lewington. Nearly went 1-2-3, but Fox Pappas reached on the error, so the 1-2-3 was ruled out. Home plate umpire in discussion right now with the Hamilton third base coach, who will walk back to the dugout now, receiving a bit of a stare from the home plate umpire after their discussion. 50-50 draw now here at Labatt Park. Al Coombs draws a ticket for the Majors, and we've got a winner, sounds like, because there was some squealing up in the third base bleachers here at Labatt Park as we near our conclusion in this ball game. A new arm comes out for the Hamilton Cardinals. That is Drew Mainprize for Hamilton. He's a lefty, standing at 6 feet tall, 160 pounds. Mainprize, a native of Ancaster, Ontario. In 10 games this season out of the bullpen, has thrown 18 2/3 innings, struck out 11 batters, walked 14, has an ERA of 4.33, and has been the winning pitcher in one game. Has yet to lose a contest. Spent last year with the Brantford Red Sox. And Mainprize now with the Hamilton Cardinals. Not the first time he's seen the majors this year. Pitched against London on June 26th. Through 3 innings of relief, allowed 3 runs, but none of them were earned in that contest. Struck out 4, walked 1, so a good outing for Mainprize. Though in his past 2 outings, one against the Welland Jackfish at home, one in Toronto against the Maple Leafs, he walked more batters than he struck out. So he'll be looking to change that here in this outing as he tries to pitch a clean 8th and send us to the 9th inning here at Labatt Park. As some fans begin to head for the exits, especially some of the younger folks out tonight. Just a picture-perfect night for baseball at the Forks of the Thames, and Mainprize gets a little talking to from Louis Jean and his catcher Jeremy Veilleux as they get on the same page in terms of signs. Won't be an easy task for Drew Mainprize as he comes into this ball game. He's got to deal with Robert Mullen, Starling Joseph, and Gibson Kraminski. Mullen is hitless in this ball game for the Majors. Into the windup goes Mainprize. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. Mainprize looks in, gets the sign he wants. Into the windup he goes. Here's the 0-1. Mullen takes that one inside and low for ball 1. So the count moves to a ball and a strike. Mullen looks out, Mainprize looking in. Into the windup, here is the 1-1 on its way. That's going to be well high, an easy take for Mullen at the dish. And the count moves to 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1. Mullen drives that one down the left field line, sinking quickly. Is it caught? No catch according to the third base umpire. It is a fair ball, and Robert Mullen will trot into second base. So he is in scoring position with nobody out. Sean Petner with great effort down the left field line, but could not come up with it. So Robert Mullen stands at second base, the leadoff double. And Mainprize wants to talk to Jeremy Veilleux. Starling Joseph steps up to the plate for the Majors. 2 for 4, homered in his last trip to the plate. Can he do it again here against the lefty Mainprize? We'll see. Mullen in scoring position for him. Majors up 6 in the bottom of the 8th. No action in the Majors bullpen, so you'd have to imagine the 9th belongs to Bo Lewington. Here's the first pitch to Joseph from Mainprize. Took a huge swing, was looking to send another one into the river, but he comes up empty. It's 0-1. Joseph digs into the batter's box and looks out. Coming set is Mainprize. Here's the pitch. Joseph fouls that one straight back. 0-2 now on the Majors right fielder. Sounds like somebody got a baseball. Oh, it came through the net, we're told, and somebody made a grab, I believe. Great job down there. Good reaction time. You're not expecting the ball to come through the net, so you got to be on your toes when it does. That applies for us up here, too. I didn't know it could go through the net. Here's the 0-2 to Joseph, just low for ball one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Starling Joseph. Robert Mullen, you see him on your screen there, stands at second base. Set his main prize. Here's the 1-2. Inside, nearly clips Joseph. He's able to get out of the way of it. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and two, nobody out. Mullen stands at second base. Joseph in the batter's box for the Majors. Here's the offering. Lined straight back to the screen. Joseph putting up a good battle right now for London. And trying to cash Mullen from second base. Main prize gets the sign he wants from Veilleux. And comes set. Here's the 2-2. Joseph breaks his bat. Little looper over the head of Luis Jean. Robert Mullen will get into third base, and that'll put runners on the corners now with nobody out. Got in on the hands of Starling Joseph. Sounded like the bat cracked. And Joseph gets into first, Mullen at third. As Gibson Kreminski will step up to the plate. So Kreminski comes into the batter's box, a chance to do some damage. He's got runners at the corners here, nobody out. Kreminski doubled earlier on in the ball game. Let's set the 4th inning in motion for the Majors. With 2 out. This time he steps up with nobody out. First pitch is in the dirt. Good block by Veilleux. And that'll be ball 1. Here's the 1-0. On the ground towards third base. That'll get foul. Jean left it. And it is a foul ball. So the count moves to a ball and a strike now on Kreminski. Taking his time to get back in the batter's box. 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. That one will miss, so 2 balls and a strike now on Kreminski. Two balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. Kreminski swings through it. It's 2-2. Main prize looking to put Kreminski away here with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the offering. Outside, the count moves to full now. There is action in the Hamilton bullpen, though it is light throwing for the moment. Kreminski ready in the box, full count. Here's the pitch. Up high for ball 4 as Kreminski does not chase, and he'll reach base to load him up here with nobody out. Bases loaded for the Majors. Phil Whalen will come up to the batter's box for London, and a great chance to do some more damage for the Majors. Majors already leading by 6 runs in this ball game. Main prize ready. Here's the pitch. Inside, it'll miss for ball 1 to Whalen. Whalen 0 for 1 in his one trip to the plate. Took over for Dan Perrier as a defensive replacement. And in his first trip to the plate, he struck out, I believe. Correction, he popped out in foul territory. Here's the pitch. Whalen hits that one hard to shortstop. Ortiz to second for 1. On to first, double play. A run will come in to score. Starling Joseph taking his time to get back to third, and he's back with a dive. So a dangerous play there as Starling Joseph took a few too many steps off the bag, was having a good time, and the Hamilton Cardinals were not, as they fired back to third base, trying to get Joseph and make it a triple play. No dice, as Starling got back. But a smart play by Hamilton. It reminds me of that play not too long ago in Major League Baseball where I believe it was Taylor Ward of the Los Angeles Angels who was on first base, and he was kind of lollygagging it a bit, took a couple of steps off the bag, and was joking around with Jose Altuve, or at least Ward thought he was joking when Altuve was faking a throw, but Martin Maldonado, the Astros catcher, was right behind him, and they threw Ward out at first base on a similar play. Drew Lawrence takes a big hack at that first pitch and comes up empty for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike as Main Prize looks in for the sign. He's got 2 outs in the inning, a run already home for the Majors. Here's the pitch. Lawrence on the ground towards shortstop. Ortiz waits back for the big hop, fires a strike over to first. And that'll do it for the 8th inning. We're through 8 complete here at Labatt Park. The Majors lead by a score of 11-4. On to the 9th on MajorsTV.
Do you know where your food comes from? Like where it really comes from? It comes from farms, farmers, and their families. At Healthy Eats, we believe if we wouldn't serve it to our families, we wouldn't serve it to yours. From farm to folks, we do things the way they're meant to be.
Here we go.
Believe me, you've never heard a talk show like this.
I'm sleeping with Joe Carter. By the way, Joe did not touch the ball.
Yeah, I have to say, like, your voice is fantastic.
Meet Smitty.
Listen, I'm the brains here.
And Mitty.
And I'm the good-looking funny one.
This is the Smitty Mitty Show.
Catch new episodes of the Smitty and Mitty Show wherever you get your podcasts. Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home. Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and athletes. Whether it's the London Knights, Nationals, or Lightning, or even your London Majors, Game Day London has you covered. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com. Game Day London, proud sponsor of your London Majors.
And we're back for the 9th inning as Country Roads take the fans here home, and the Majors are hoping that they will be able to wrap things up here in the top of the 9th inning. They've got a nice 7-run cushion thanks to a run scored on the Phil Whalen double play in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bo Lewington is back out there for the 9th. Lewington threw 24 pitches in his inning of work. 16 of them were strikes and fared very well. Did not allow a run. Struck out 2 batters. Could have probably struck out 3. Robin Fox Pappas had a few calls that Lewington thought should have been strikes, but he did not get the call he was looking for on those. Left a runner on base, though. That was Spencer Bach, who came on to pinch run for Fox Pappas. And Lewington would be quite happy to keep the amount of zeros he's got on his line score so far intact as he looks to work through the 9th inning. To do it, he'll have to go through 2, 3, 4 in the Hamilton Cardinals order. It'll be no easy task. It'll be Luis Jean, followed by Justin Gideon and Tyler Duncan. 3 very talented hitters and 3 hitters who have had great success against the majors in this one. Luis Jean is 3 for 4, only had a strikeout in the first inning. Everything else has been a hit. Justin Gideon, of course, hit that home run in the first. So we'll see how Lewington fares. All those at-bats came against Pedro de los Santos. Bo Lewington, first batter he faced was Jeremy Veilleux. Has yet to face the top of the order. Here is the first pitch to Luis Jean. It's in there for a called strike. Lewington got David Ortiz to end the top of the 8th inning with a strikeout. That was Lewington's second strikeout of the inning. Here's the 0-1 in the air. Not too deep in right field. Starling Joseph is camped under it. He's got it. And that'll be the first out of the top of the 9th inning. Joseph able to track that ball through the lights, took a couple of steps to his right and made the grab for the first out. And Justin Gideon will dig into the batter's box for Hamilton. He's also 3 for 4. Mentioned the home run in the first inning. He then, in his next trip, lined out to center field. That was followed by a single to second base and a single on a little flare into shallow center. Here's the pitch from Lewington. That'll be up high and away to Gideon. He does not chase. It's ball 1. Lewington set out there on the mound. Here's the 1-0. That's in there for a called strike. Gideon not a fan of that call. Speaking of fans, I was being chirped in the between innings before the 9th here because I just turned the fan on after 8 innings of not having it on. Fully intended to turn it on earlier. I'm hot up here, but did not do it as that one will miss low. And I was told by the people in the press box that I should have done it sooner and that it was a little hilarious that I turned it on so late. That pitch will miss inside. 3 balls and a strike to Justin Gideon. Lewington up to 30 pitches through an inning and a third. That one is fouled off, and the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So full count now on the Hamilton center fielder. Gideon, as mentioned, 3 for 4 on the day, looking to keep that good day intact. He's got a full count with 1 out against Bo Lewington. Here's the pitch from Bo. Gideon in the air, deep right center. Wilkie to the warning track. He leaps up, and that ball is gone. It's a 2-home run game for Justin Gideon. That's number 11 on the year, giving him the Intercounty Baseball League lead. And the Cardinals are not done yet. It's 11-5. The remaining children at the ballpark flock to that baseball, trying to get themselves a souvenir. As Gideon has hit his 2nd home run out of the ballpark tonight, and Tyler Duncan will step into the batter's box with 1 away. Lewington came close to putting Gideon away, just gave him a pitch that was too good to hit. And with a talented hitter like that, you can't give that one up as Duncan laces that one into right center field, and that's going to go all the way to the fence. Bounces up against the Maxis Grogan sign. Here's the throw into second base. That'll be cut off by Jacob Newton, so it's a double for Tyler Duncan. The pitch after, a homer for Justin Gideon, and that'll lead to Brent Wales coming out to talk to his pitcher just to try to calm him down. Allows the home run on a full count, nearly struck Gideon out, and then a hard hit double into the gap by Tyler Duncan. That puts him in scoring position. 11-5 Majors in the top of the 9th inning. Still a very good cushion for Lewington to work with. Brent Wales trying to deliver the message. Hey, calm down. Lock in right here. You need 2 outs. All you have to do is get 2 outs. That's it. Josh Niles stepping into the batter's box here for the Cardinals, and that's obviously a complete guess as to what was said at the mound. We like to wonder what is said by the pitching coach to the manager when they come out, but we really have no clue. Here's the pitch. That's on the outside corner from Bo Lewington, and we kind of know from past experiences on the mound what is talked about, but it varies from coach to coach, and we can theorize all we want. Here's the pitch. That is just going to miss. So ball and a strike now to Josh Niles. 1 for 3 today. Homered the last time he was at Labatt Park. Here's the 1-1. Cut on and missed. The ball. The count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Lewington looks in for the sign from Robert Mullen. Has the one he wants. Comes set. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball right back to the mound. Lewington going to take his time on this one. Throws a solid toss to Phil Whalen at first base, and that'll be the second out of the 9th inning. Tyler Duncan will stay put at second base, still in scoring position with 2 out in the 9th. And Sean Petner will dig into the batter's box as the last chance for the Hamilton Cardinals. He's 0 for 4 on the day. He's made some stellar defensive plays, but has been unable to muster anything with a bat. This one is looped into center field. Wilkie going to come up throwing. It gets right under his glove. Petner going to dig for second base. Now stop up after a hard turn. But a bloop single allows Tyler Duncan to score the 6th run for the Cardinals. Runner over at first base, 2 out. Jeremy Veilleux will step up to the plate. Here's the pitch. Fouled off by Veilleux for strike 1. Lewington takes a peek back at first. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just misses. Mullen not sure where that one missed. Here's the offering. And that one will miss as well. 2 balls and a strike now. Two and 1, 2 out, runner over at first base. Here's the pitch from Bo Lewington. That's on the outside corner, and the count moves to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chance for Lewington to put it away. Here's the offering to Veilleux. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Bo Lewington shuts the door and wraps up this one for the Majors. It's a big 11-6 victory over the Hamilton Cardinals, and that is 2 wins in a row for London as they beat the Kitchener Panthers last night, beat the Hamilton Cardinals here today, and after a 3-loss weekend last weekend, they're back in the win column, and they do it twice here at Labatt Park. Win yesterday in front of the home crowd that got everybody rolling. A lot of home runs in that contest. The fans were into it all throughout, and then once again here tonight, started off pretty close, and the Majors were able to come away with the victory. The Hamilton Cardinals got the scoring going as we welcome you inside the Game Day London broadcast booth. My name is Dylan Baker. The Cardinals got the scoring going on a Justin Gideon home run in the first inning. Cleveland Brownlee responded immediately in the bottom half with a home run of his own, and then a balk scored the go-ahead run for the Hamilton Cardinals to make it 2-1 Hamilton in the top of the 4th inning. And then the Majors scored 2 on an error and never looked back. They scored 7 in the bottom of the 4th to put themselves ahead big time by a score of 8-2, I believe, at that point for the London Majors, and they continued to add on. Starling Joseph had a home run in this ball game as well. A terrific offensive performance for the London Majors. The next broadcast for the Majors is, our next broadcast I should say, is July 22nd at home against the Barrie Baycats. Majors are back in action tomorrow at Christie Pitts in Toronto against the Toronto Maple Leafs. For our producers, Jeremy McGrady and Cal Johnstone, cameramen Matthew Young and Curtis Hiscox, and our entire Majors TV crew, my name is Dylan Baker. We'll talk to you again very soon.